Mr. Young and foreign.
Kick to the gut!
Your podcast sucks!
We are hot off the heels of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2. What's going on? Hey, it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Yo, bro.
Yo.
This week, it's a great week to be a wrestling fan, a great week to be a WWE fan, bro.
Absolutely, it is WrestleMania week, and my goodness, it feels like the weekend hasn't even come yet, right? WrestleMania hasn't even happened yet, and it feels like I've filled up quite a bit. Not 100% full yet, but almost there already with wrestling. So I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. And let's not forget, there's also like that other show called the AEW that we follow as well.
Okay, first of all, bro, does this feel like we are in the road to WrestleMania? Does this feel like WrestleMania season, or as close as it can be to feeling like a WrestleMania season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge step up from last year, during the pandemic and everything, right? Where they had to pivot and whatnot. It's like recovery phase. I don't think we're going to be 100% there until next year, or maybe even the year after, when things really get going, when you have real solid crowds. Because at the end of the day, as much as we love the product, as much as they innovate, I mean, come on lah. It's about the crowd. It's about the chants. It's about the vibe.
I gotta give credit to WWE though. They are trying their best to still capture some of the atmosphere. If you go on WWE's social media pages, their YouTube channel, every single day they are uploading all WrestleMania matches from recent years. So I kind of feel like in the WrestleMania mood just by being online. And every single night, this entire week, there's some sort of WWE content, right? So whether it's Raw or whether it's the Hall of Fame or just fresh out of NXT, there's always something to look forward to or something to comment on online.
For sure. And that's probably why AEW is doing their first non-televised show, just to cash in, capitalize on this wrestling vibe. Oh, I didn't get a chance to go to NXT or WrestleMania. Okay lah, I just go and pay a ticket to watch the AEW show. And to be fair, I'm sure you'll be entertained when you go to that show.
Yeah, especially if you live in Florida, you don't care about COVID, right? I mean, what's stopping you from just walking up to a wrestling show?
What is COVID? COVID is fake news. COVID is fake news.
Did you see what happened in Texas, bro, a couple of days ago?
No, what happened, bro?
They had their first official, I think it's a university football match, or either that or baseball. I can't remember. But they had 40,000 people in the arena, 50,000, and it's not socially distanced at all.
Oh no!
They are not wearing masks. All them walking with their popcorn and their nachos, and then everyone the comment was, "Yep, it's gotta be Texas."
That's the next cluster. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know how their vaccines have rolled out. You haven't gotten the notification for vaccines yet, right?
Not yet, bro. I think I haven't reached my age range yet, bro.
Basket, hey, what are you trying to say? Also haven't reached my age range, okay?
Okay, but do you get it or what?
No, not yet lah. Not my age range. I think right now it's to 45, so I'm just below that.
Your one is a pre-National Day gift. You'll get that soon.
Yes, I will. In the meantime, okay, let's get right down to it. Guys, if you're listening to this on the podcast, on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for downloading. As always, hey, help us spread the word. Jump into our social media and interact with us. We'd love to chat with you. Also, if you're watching the live stream right now on the YouTube, please
hello.
drop by the chat and say hi. Let us know how you're doing. And let us know if you've enjoyed NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, which we will get to in just a bit. Right now, though, let's kick things off with a bit of reflections on the Hall of Fame. 2 nights, bro. 2 nights of Hall of Fame back to back. Well, not 2 nights, lah. They were all on the same night. But,
correct. But they divided into classes, and they even have separate video packages.
Yes.
It was so weird.
Okay, 2020 and 21. Here's the thing, though. A huge departure from the previous one. Okay, I didn't mind it in that because the previous Hall of Fames were 6 hours long. It was way too long.
I mean, everyone had to have their long speech, their long stories. You know what? I actually enjoyed that about Hall of Fame because for me, right, as a long-time wrestling fan, I really love all these wrestlers coming on stage, telling all their story. Some might be draggy, I admit. Mr. T, cannot, too much. Remember Mr. T's one?
Not really. I probably didn't even watch it.
Well, okay, what happened was when Mr. T talked so long that Kane had to come out and tell Mr. T it was time to leave, and then Mr. T was like, I'm sorry. And then when Kane was inducting Paul Bearer right after, he was saying that, I would love to let Mr. T continue talking about his mama, but I gotta talk about my daddy.
Oh shit, that's actually quite funny.
Yeah, you see, so all these kind of things, it's the the improvisation of it. It feels like very very natural. It's fun to hear.
Yeah, but I mean, it's doable when you have a crowd there,
Yeah,
but when
definitely.
it's the screens of the Thunderdome, I don't even know if it was like real live crowd, like people watching it on Zoom, or was it just like they just replay faces? Did they sell tickets to that, or get people to sign up?
Honestly, I don't know. Okay, from what I read, it's definitely pre-taped. And they did it like early in the morning because apparently X-Pac said in one of his podcast interviews right after that, they all had to be like suited up and ready to start filming at 7 a.m.
Oh wow! Okay, it makes sense though. It makes sense because this sort of a thing is a huge production, and they definitely cut down a lot of the speeches. Yeah, what we were talking about, what we really missed was like the good friend or somebody else telling stories, and then inducting them. We didn't have that, and that really hurt. I felt really hurt certain inductees. So especially when it came to someone like Kane, for example, we were
definitely
talking about it on WhatsApp. Like, how cool would it have been to have the Undertaker induct Kane?
But he busy like hunting turkeys lah, bro.
Yeah.
No, okay, but here are the certain elements that I miss, and I wish like even with the pandemic, they could have still done it. In a small scale at least. Like, okay, they invited all the current wrestlers backstage. They had a red carpet thing, right? But why couldn't the wrestlers be seated in front to like watch the induction? Like the speeches would have impacted more if there was a reaction that you could see human people, human faces reacting to their speech.
Well, you can imagine though, from a production standpoint, this whole thing was put together like a production. Everything was cut together. So for all we know, right, all these interviews were probably done like after a taping of SmackDown, after a taping of Raw. They're like, okay, we just go to that corner and you just wear your fine. I mean, did you see Seth Rollins and his drip and his fire?
His fire.
Yeah, and him trying to sound like he's super hip, but then coming off like a 50-year-old trying to sound cool.
Like a dad. No, but I think that is the appeal, of him. Like, he's just this like fucking out of touch guy trying to sound cool with the kids, but that is damn funny.
Yeah. But too bad that's not his actual character right now, which we will talk about a bit later on. But in general, I mean, obviously everybody deserving. I know a lot of people shit on the fact that the Bellas were inducted into the Hall of Fame. But I mean, if you think about it, who else in terms of just grabbing, and we've talked about this before, right? Grabbing mainstream attention has done more.
Their contribution to wrestling is opening eyes of an entire new audience to WWE. We can't deny that.
Yeah, even if you hate Total Divas, you hate reality TV show, it's still a thing that brought eyeballs.
Yeah, but only one part made me roll my eyes.
What's that?
When in their induction package, Rhea Ripley said, I used to love watching them growing up. I was like, Rhea Ripley, you sure or not? They inspire you to go into wrestling? I don't think so.
No. And then there was the whole they started the Give Divas a Chance movement, which, I mean, there's a huge point of contention. It was supposed to have been AJ Lee, right?
AJ Lee, should have been inducted way before them.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I think WWE, this is like one of the strategic moves that you can tell is purely for the exposure. It's purely for the, they get eyeballs.
From a human standpoint as well, why would I? Just imagine you are the company man. You're the head of the company, right? Why would you give props to somebody, or somebody's wife that has been shitting on the company for so many years? Like, I'm sure they'll move on. I'm sure somewhere down the line, CM Punk and AJ Lee will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt, right?
Yeah.
But currently, I mean, they, on the regular, kind of shit on them. And you know what I mean? So why would you give them the props?
I mean, it's human nature lah. As much as everyone corporately, they will say, oh, no, it's nothing personal. It's always business council, blah, blah, blah. Of course it is. But I tell you, WWE is so petty. Like, it's petty.
Bro. I wouldn't even call it petty. See, that's why I'm trying to, put you in that position. If, let's say, Joe, let's call him Joe, right? Every day shits on you on Twitter, on Instagram. You want to give him an employee of the month?
Okay, but okay.
No, what?
I'm looking at it from WWE's point of view, and their so-called, they keep giving the bottom line being that it's all about business, right? Okay, CM Punk shits on him, WWE, AJ Lee shits on WWE, but they know that if they were to induct CM Punk, for example, it will sell out an arena.
Yeah, sure.
It will all the buzz
but
that comes with it.
What I'm saying is this is something that will happen down the road.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but I would rather induct like the people who have been working hard for me and bringing eyeballs to my product instead of shitting on my product first. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, of course.
As an employer, you'd be like, why would I induct AJ Lee before the Bella Twins? Bella Twins have done more for me than AJ Lee.
Yeah,
you think
that's
about
true.
it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, it's like better the devil you know than the devil you don't know lah.
Div Royalty, how are you doing? Thanks for dropping by the chat, by the way. It's good to see you, as always. So yeah, it is what it is. And the inductees, like I said, all very deserving. Kane, let's jump right to the end. Okay, we got the NWO, we got Eric Bischoff. I don't know why they didn't just combine all of them, because let's face it, Eric Bischoff was instrumental in creating the NWO as well.
At first when NWO got inducted in 2020, right, and there wasn't any Eric Bischoff, a lot of people spoke up and said like, hey, wow, Eric Bischoff is very important. Yeah. So it's almost appropriate that the Eric Bischoff was part of 2021 and they did it all in the same night.
That's
in a
right.
way, there's that connective thread.
Yo, Taufik, how you doing, man? What's up?
Oh, Taufik Dawood. So he's the guy that DM us recently. He's a Singapore film director, and he has a new wrestling team film out.
Oh, nice.
Nice. If I'm not wrong, it's called Dying Town. Taufik, please send a link to your short film so that we can spread it to the people who come on the podcast live chat.
I'm not sure if he can share a link, actually. He let us know if you can share a link. If not, we'll just shout it out on our Instagram page as well. But yeah, we'll definitely have to talk to you at some point. In the meantime, okay, let's get back to, talking about the Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
X-Pac, 2-time Hall of Famer already. Do you think he would... Okay, I know this is... Look, he's had quite the career, all right?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3 kid, beat Razor Ramon, and then X-Pac, 6... Do you think he would ever get into the Hall of Fame just by himself?
No, I love the fact that he fucking got in like the last 2 years back to back and then suddenly became 2-time Hall of Famer like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he's like gotten that Hall of Fame ring twice over a lot of people who haven't even gotten their first one and are arguably more deserving, right?
This is like the typical, I got friends in high places, you're gonna take care of me, jaga me, and I'm just gonna get the recognition. But you know what, okay, I'll give X-Pac some props lah. He's definitely one of the first few light heavyweights that has gotten mainstream attention.
Sure.
He was doing all the high flying stuff in like 1994, 1993. Well, over in WCW, there were people like Jushin Thunder Liger, another Hall of Fame inductee, Brian Pillman. They were putting up all those cruiserweight matches, showing this style to the world. And in WWE, where they were still, caring all about the heavyweights, the big boys.
Yeah.
Here comes one time 1, 2, 3 kid that impressed so much, playing so well off of Scott Hall that they decided to keep him around. He wasn't supposed to be anything more than an enhancement.
Right.
Talent,
Right. Well, there is no doubt that he definitely sold. He made everybody else look good, and he obviously made friends with the people there. There's still the whole clique connection as well. And Scott Hall, I think, was more than happy to just put him over. Let's see, who else do we have that we have? I really need to mention, we talked about how the speeches were done, right? And it was obviously edited. Yep. And then there was Molly Holly. I love Molly Holly. She was one of my favorite, women's wrestlers back in the day. And then she... they play all these packages of people being interviewed. Oh yeah, she's a great in-ring tactician. She's a babe. She's great on the mic. And then she comes out to deliver the most boring red speech ever.
You know what's so sad?
Yeah.
I can tell the speech was cut off. It was shortened version of the speech.
Yeah, but why did she come off so and these are the people I would like to thank. And then she reading off a script. I was like, what's going on, Sia?
If I'm not wrong, they did definitely. It's a pre-written script. All of them is a pre-written script, and they probably put it in a teleprompter. But if you watch the YouTube channel, WWE's YouTube channel, right? They Molly Holly actually released a full version of the speech where she said it in a room and she in a normal environment. And it was much longer.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, I was thinking to myself, damn it, she should have done the speech in front of a crowd, having been inducted by someone Trish Stratus or like Beth Phoenix, and hear all of them, what I love about all these speeches is when they give a shout out to a name and the person happened to be in the crowd.
Yeah, then they shoot they pan to the person.
The person, the round of applause, like all those things are really, really heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I think if nothing else, the fact that you mentioned like how it comes across as really, really boring shows how bad the effect, the magic of the Hall of Fame was really stripped away based on this kind of speeches. Because when I watched the full version, I think it was like a good 10-15 minutes speech, and she was doing in a room, I think surrounded by her friends or some small production, and it felt like there are people behind the camera laughing at certain things that she said, that kind of stuff. There was one part of the story, I think I need to share this with you, that she didn't say in the actual Hall of Fame.
Right.
One of the person that trained her and actually let her live in his apartment to train her was Lenny Poffo.
Oh wow, Lenny Poffo as in the Macho Man's brother?
Yes, the genius Lenny Poffo. So apparently, how Molly Holly got into the industry was she was recruited to be one of Macho Man's like ringside girl or something. Like there was like an entourage thing that was happening.
Something of Madness Girls or something like that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So like I didn't know anything about this. This was all new to me. So she was sharing the story of how a lot of people in the industry, all these like CD guys back in the day, they offer to train all these young female talent, come live in the house, and it's all very seedy. But Lenny really treated her, adopted her like she's one of the like the Macho Man's family, like she's a sibling, almost like a little sister.
He wasn't seedy and didn't try to take advantage lah.
Yeah, but it's so weird because when I look at Lenny Poffo, he looks very seedy.
Hey, that's why you don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes. So the nice little story, this kind of story that I wish there was on in the full show. She was saying about how he invited her to stay with him in his house, gave her the living room couch, and basically padded out floor mats for her to train in the living room, and just gave her like tons and tons of tapes to watch like old school matches between like 80s and 70s wrestlers. Like, how amazing is that? Yeah,
see, that's why wrestling podcasts have become so popular in the last couple of years, because it's like peeling back that layer of the business that we know and love, or we think we know, right? And that's what was missing from this year and last year's Hall of Fame, I guess, in that it was way too produced. It was just a bunch of speeches and not people reacting, like you said, and listening to these stories. And that is the magic. That's why, the Hall of Fame being 8 hours, it's actually not an issue.
The fact that it's longer is actually even better.
It's like a podcast. Actually, it's very easy to listen to. You just hear all these stories, I mean, some, like we talked about, some of them are quite boring, can be. But when you boil it down to, you try to make it a produced thing, it loses the magic. The nostalgia is just not there. They're just on stage, talking cock.
Like a lot of people, a lot of fans pay good money to hear like a talking tour from someone like Mick Foley, all these Starcast, like all these fan conventions where they're essentially just sitting on stage sharing stories, and it's recorded into podcast format, but people there live can get to hear all these stories.
And they can react, and a lot of times they will do nonsense on the stage.
Correct.
They'll heckle each other and whatever.
Oh, they make all these inside jokes and I feel like for WrestleMania week, right, there's so much of the week goes to the fans, goes to the production, goes to the media, and I feel the Hall of Fame itself that night is for the boys and for the girls.
I mean, okay lah, let's chalk it up to it's just a COVID thing. They can't have a proper crowd, they can't gather, so it is what it is. Let's move on then, because we have a lot to cover. We have NXT, we have WrestleMania to preview, 2 nights worth of WrestleMania. So here we go. We are hot off the heels of NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver. Before we do that, let's very quickly talk about the other show. Look, usually we watch AEW first because AEW is streaming on the Fight app, so we technically get to watch it first, and then they will play it the next day on the WWE app, right? But because this was like simulcast on USA and on WWE Network.
Yes.
Like you had to watch NXT TakeOver, and I will say immediately what stood out to me is the fact that their production value is so much better. When they cut to commercial, first of all, you didn't have Vic Joseph talking about restaurant quality picture in picture. No, they just talked about it as if just say right here the picture is there's picture in picture. They didn't try to make it a big deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
And the biggest thing I have with the Fight app and their whole throwing it to commercial break, right? It's like the wrestlers they just switch off during commercial break.
They stop, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess okay because one is a pay-per-view, another one is a like a TV,
like a regular TV show, right?
Like I sent you this clip of Chris Jericho during commercial break. And, because during commercial break, even though they have picture-in-picture, their picture is muted because you have to hear the commercial, right? Yep. So Chris Jericho goes on the mic, and this all goes out into the Fight app. I think they didn't realize it because they cut it half when they realized, hey, shit, he's like breaking kayfabe.
Yeah, but like all the international audience can watch this one.
Yeah.
Even in UK as well.
And that is so... Why don't they have a person to freaking jaga this, So Chris Jericho... No, this is the Inner Circle thing, right? Promo. Yeah. Chris Jericho goes on the mic, and after they come out and say, all right, guys, we need you guys to cheer, make it sound like, we're really popular. I'm like, what the hell? That is so weird to me.
Okay, so like, how were you watching AEW? Were you watching it right after NXT, on your own?
No, they didn't cut. They didn't edit it out. They don't care.
So even after the fact, they didn't edit it. Yeah, it just went up live just like that.
Yeah, it went up. I watch it on demand now. Obviously, I watch AEW after NXT at night, and I was like, they left that in.
Oh, that's so weird, bro.
It's so bad. And then it's like finally someone realized, hey, shit. This is breaking kayfabe, and then they switched to the AEW logo.
If I can be very, very honest, this was the first time in the entire, Wednesday Night War, which technically is coming to an end. This was the last week, right? They're going to go head to head, right? This was the first time that I didn't even look at AEW. I was just watching NXT all the way. And then I was going to like rewatch AEW back to back, right? And then when I just watched like maybe the first match really, I was like, what? Adam Page versus this Max Caster? Like,
oh my God. Dude, first of all, Max Caster... He's like trying to do a John Cena. It's not fucking working. Stop it.
Yeah, trying too hard. Yeah.
Just stop it, right? The first match is already a boring match. Nobody gives literally no steak, all veg, no steak. Then you're just hinging on one segment to draw eyeballs, which is Mike Tyson, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the big thing. And then you had Darby Allin versus some literal nobody. Like, who is this fella? Who is, and he's like quite big size and then selling for Darby. That's a totally different story. All right, whatever. They want to put him over. But who the hell is this fella that they're promoting? Why is he beating some jobber? Why do I care? I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then they had the Inner Circle. I love all that stuff. I mean, it's Chris Jericho. He knows what he's doing, right? And then the Sting promo. I don't know if you watched the Sting promo. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Sting comes out, and then you know how they are feuding with. They're kind of feuding with the Taz and his group,
Lance Archer,
but also Lance Archer and Jake the Snake. So Sting like rambles a little bit, like don't know what the hell he was talking about anyway. And then Lance Archer and Jake Roberts comes out first, and then Jake Roberts rambles some bullshit, and then it felt so like, okay, now stick the mic and go out, no plan. And then Lance Archer comes out and tries to get in Sting's face, and Sting is like, yeah, I see the potential in you, so do something about it. And then Lance is like, let's just like he's just standing there like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I have the potential, okay, I'll do something. Like he just smiles, and then Jake the Snake is just standing there. That whole segment is
it just didn't work, right?
Yeah, it's my essential problem with AEW. You know how we complain about WWE is too scripted? AEW, on the other hand, is like the other end of the spectrum. Too improvised until they literally had no idea. It sounded like an early Nitro promo. And funnily enough, out of sheer morbid curiosity, because I never really watched Nitro before. Like last week, I actually watched some early episode of Nitro for fun. Just for fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, the vibe is right there. You can tell they were just given the mic, go out and say something. And
it's so weird though. Like if that is an industry practice, like in the late 80s, early 90s, that kind of thing, how were they able to draw back in the day? Like,
okay, you know what it is? It's people with the charisma. Like,
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's like, why can't we find a middle ground? You know, you don't have to script everything like WWE, but you better have some sort of a bloody skeleton.
Bullet point or skeleton.
Okay, when you throw Chris Jericho out there to do that, he can because he is Chris Jericho. Like Stone Cold, The Rock, they can because that is who they are good at it. Sting has never really been a talker.
But you don't give the mic to S.A. Rios and ask him to cut a promo.
hey, poor S.A. Rios. Or like, you know, Jake the Snake, who's like an old rambly fart at this point. Lance Archer, he just yells a lot. You know, it's like, I hated that segment so much, and to me, that is what is wrong with AEW. You have, it's almost as if like we use the term the inmates are running the asylum. Sometimes you have to give them a, like if they need a script, if they are not good on the mic, give them a freaking script. Let them do something with it.
That's where the agents come in, right? The producers come in. They say like, okay, they know their strength and weakness. They know they need to work on a promo. But it seems as if they really want to do this sink or swim kind of
sink or swim
strategy. Like literally, I don't care. You just do what you need to do. If you cannot, then okay lah. It shows that you can't do it lah. Can't perform.
Well, and then like all the matches kind of except for one or two of the main event matches had no coherence. It's like, why are they fighting? I don't give a crap. All of a sudden, Statlander is part of the best friends. All of a sudden, Young Bucks turn on Kenny Omega. That was the big swerve at the end. I was like, but they're already healed. But then they kind of went face. And then it's like, I don't give a shit anymore. You know?
It's hard to keep track.
It's not that it's hard to keep track. It's like the Big Show thing. He keeps flip-flopping to the point where it's like, oh, okay lah. No, now he's side with Kenny Omega. Oh, okay lah. Oh, whatever.
There was a very, very specific period in AEW, right? At the beginning, where I felt it was much better. It's like a better put together show. Yeah. Maybe because they always played promos before like the match came out, or like there was the Road to series, and I felt more invested in the characters. Now it's literally they announce a bunch of matches beforehand. Yeah. And then like you just expected to say, okay, they're just gonna fight. You know, but it's hard to follow in that sense.
Yeah, but the matches also are like, who gives a shit? Like the guy Darby Allin I don't know who he is. Like, he's been wrestling on AEW Dark. That's deal.
The problem. They don't. Okay, I don't care. They want to have a separate show, AEW Dark, AEW Elevation. Yeah. But if they're gonna bring it to the main show, right? They need to have some sort of like a replay. Yeah. You know how like back in WWE's days, like when they play something from Heat, they play some footage from Metal or what, and then because of that, they have some conflict on SmackDown. Yep. It all ties together. So like people, we have to understand that there's a lot of people who like, you know, I would consider myself a casual AEW watcher as opposed to last time where I was super hardcore. Yeah. If I have no idea what's going on, I want to be able to be brought up to speed very, very easily.
Yeah, I think that is, and we've talked about this, the main AEW problem is that they cater way too hard to the hardcores, their own fan base, and they don't really care about, you know, everybody else.
Do you know what's the one thing that I miss from Attitude Era?
What's that?
And I feel like they should bring it on a very regular basis.
What?
Before every single episode, there's always a recap promo or recap package. Yeah. Last Monday on Raw, who ran over Stone Cold, and they have all that epic music and the who done that kind of shit. It really leads you in straight away. You know what you're to expect on this episode.
Bro, no long-term storytelling. We've said this to death. It's a dead horse. We've been beating the dead horse, but AEW really like, what do we feel like doing this week? Okay lah, you team up with them. Okay lah, like, you know, I sat in the cafeteria and talked to this fella for 5 minutes. I think we got chemistry. Now we are tag team. Oh, now he's part of the stable. It seems like that's what they're doing.
It feels like it's like a year. They planned everything out for 2 years.
Yeah, and then after that, now,
the rest go to shit.
Yeah, and then okay lah, we just have two main feuds and that's it. But yeah, Blood and Guts, is it? That's their big thing. Inner Circle versus the Pineapple. Let's go.
You know what? Blood and Guts, I am actually looking forward to Blood and Guts because this was something that they wanted to do last year between the Elite and Inner Circle. Yeah. Obviously they did Stadium Stampede. Actually, I'm kind of sad there's no Stadium Stampede this year, but you know what? In my mind, maybe it's better that it's a novelty as opposed to like a norm. Yeah. So you know what? Blood and Guts, bring it on, man.
Yeah. Best Booker of 2020. There you go. I clap for you.
You gotta mention that at least once an episode.
Oh, absolutely. That's our Mandy for this season.
Oh my god, okay. Okay, come on, let's go back to the good stuff, man.
The good stuff, okay, the good stuff. NXT stand and deliver. I mean, right from the presentation, it feels exciting. It feels like, oh, this is like proper wrestling show. And then they have the combination, I like to call it Thunderdome plus a little bit of live crowd. I really, really, really enjoy this presentation that they do. And then they have that big skull.
Can I say, NXT has suffered the least from the pandemic. Ever since they went to this Capital Wrestling Center, like the mix of it is actually really, really good because actually it feels like a small arena studio show.
Yes.
Plus the virtual fans.
Okay, I didn't watch the pre-show match, Zoe Stark versus Toni Storm, and Zoe Stark won, so I'm like, wow, that's actually a very big
Zoe
push.
Stark doing quite well. Wait, one more thing about the presentation I forgot to mention, and you did mention about the skull thing. You know what it reminds me of, right?
What?
1998 Deadly Games.
Oh my God, yes!
Survivor Series.
Yes.
Right?
Hey, they love their throwbacks, NXT.
And I think it's great. I love all these nods to, things that all of us wrestling fans were nostalgic for.
Who do you think it is? Do you think it's a Triple H thing or HBK? They're like, hey, fans will remember this shit.
For sure, be Triple H. They will probably be like...
Didn't Survivor Series have a skull 1 year or so?
Which is a Deadly Games tournament lah. The one that The Rock won.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, that's the one then. Okay.
Yeah. So I remember because it had such a that big skull was very iconic. I remember that very, very well.
It looks cooler than the WrestleMania skull, to be honest.
That one like pirate theme, bro.
Yeah.
Different.
I mean, obviously, it was like an offshoot of the pirate theme, right? Because they had the skull and the two swords for the WrestleMania one. Then NXT, like, how do we make that more grunge, more cool, more like,
it was literally a skull with like tongue.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so Pete Dunne versus
Pete Dunne, yes.
Kushida for the most technical wrestler title. I mean, this was like a last minute sort of literally based on one promo where like one of them said, I'm the best technical. No, I'm the best technical. Let's fight.
Well, okay, if you want to be fair, like if this was AEW, we'll probably shit on it. but the talent on display, like first of all, Pete Dunne, we know he is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world at this point in time, and he has been kind of doing a open challenge like before this in the weeks leading up to this, saying that I am the best, no one can defeat me. So it's almost like as if he's inviting competition, and the matchup between Kushida and Pete Dunne actually was, like, on the surface, it's a really, really great matchup. You really want to watch it.
Well, and I would dare say that they delivered. I enjoyed the shit out of this match, in terms of like how they were working the hand, the fingers, and there was a story being told. Yeah. That's the whole Pete Dunne thing, right? He breaks the fingers and stuff like that. And then Kushida, when he punched, then he's like, my handle.
I love the Kushida's how he approaches a match, right? When he does all these attacks that he's trying to work towards the hoverboard submission, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially, right? So he's been like targeting like the shoulders, like the back, and it made for like I felt as like if you are in the watching, right, as a strategist, you feel like, okay, I know why this is happening, and the psychology is the thing that reels you in about the match. Actually,
there were a lot of cases of really smart psychology, but as we look down this card, right, but I'm like, ooh, did they overdo the hand thing? Because later on, Walter and Ciampa, the hand was also a thing, if you think about it. But okay, in a different way, okay. But to be honest, and I will say this early and get this out of the way, everything that we say right now is like, frigging nitpicking, because up and down the card, I don't think that was a bad match.
No, the quality of the matches definitely wasn't an issue.
Yes.
The only things that I can think of, okay, now specifically about this match is where do they go after this?
I feel like this is a one and done. I feel like they're going to part ways, and I feel very bad for Kushida because he's sort of gotten a bit of a push, then he's losing and then push and lose, and like
a few months as recently as a few months ago, I thought he was going to be contending for the North American title.
Yeah, and then now he's sort of like nowhere again. So I don't know what is going on. Like maybe like, and we've talked about this before, that I feel like he's missing some kind of an edge, other being than a technical wrestler. Like when you look at him, he needs to lose the jorts.
Oh yeah, you're not a fan of the jeans, right?
This time splitter gimmick doesn't work for me. Like it makes no sense. Like why is he cosplaying Marty McFly? I've said this a billion times. It has no link. It has no link to him as a technical wrestler.
But they have mentioned that that is a very popular gimmick apparently in New Japan. Time splitters with him and Alex Shelley.
It is, but it's not working. It's not working right now because it literally has no link to what he does. And also Tovakin, thank you so much for dropping by the chat. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, that's your friend, right?
Kushida should go for the cruiserweight title, he says. Hey, that I want to see. Yes, Kushida versus whoever wins the
we'll talk about it in a bit.
Yeah, the cruiserweight title match. But so Pete Dunne winning, I mean, great. I don't really see any stakes in this one, and Kushida kind of just, to me, is going down.
Okay, if Kushida goes down, what do you think is the trajectory for Pete Dunne after this match then?
It sucks because his whole stable, like one fella injured and then the other fella is off doing his own thing. So he's kind of like not here, not there. I don't know if they're going to give him a title run.
I feel like Pete Dunne, he's a heel, almost like a tweener, because sometimes like you want to root for him in matches.
Yeah.
And given that both the NXT champion at this point in time and the North American champion is a heel.
Yeah.
There's really nowhere else he can go, honestly, back other than either back to NXT UK or like you say, go down to the Cruiserweight Championship even.
No, but that's for Kushida, not Pete Dunne. I don't think Pete Dunne should be contending for the Cruiserweight title. So I know what you mean. We'll talk about the NXT title picture in just a bit, but yeah, like he seems to be in a sort of a weird position, right?
Yeah, it's like a limbo. He is what I would call like the NXT mid-card purgatory, Like they all know that he's good. He can give a good match anytime, but they just do not know where is the right place to put him. Because the only way that makes sense if they were to turn him face, but he just turned heel for War Games a couple of months. I mean, not really a month ago. It's quite a while
ago. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm just wondering what are the futures for both of them going forward.
Well, and anyway, in the next match that we're going to talk about, that's who's going to challenge for the NXT North American title. We're talking about Bronson Reed. Of course, he, in the six-man gauntlet eliminator match, defeated Isaiah Swerve Scott, Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, Dexter Lumis, and Leon Ruff. I think most people thought that Dexter Lumis would win.
Yes, some people were quite disappointed by the result. I mean, I was personally.
Yeah.
Nothing against Bronson Reed, but first of all,
maybe
there were a lot of better performance on the match, even.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Bronson Reed. He's that sort of like performer where you look and you immediately go, okay, that is a threat, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like Bronson Reed has been putting his time in. He deserves the shot, I feel. And if anybody, Gargano would have made him look good, lah.
I mean, I don't deny that for sure. And it was proven on the second night. Someone that really impressed me in this gauntlet match, which I didn't expect him to impress me, was Isaiah Swerve Scott. Like the first 10 minutes he did with Leon Ruff, I was like vibing with that match even.
I like how he attacked. What was his name? Leon Ruff right off the bat. Like Leon Ruff comes out and he's all like stumbling. Like, what, a fella drunk?
Yeah.
That was like, no, Scott was beating him up from the back. Yeah.
And then Cameron Grimes came in and he cold-blocked the whole thing.
I mean, I love where Cameron Grimes. LA Knight, thoughts on where he is? I mean, he came in, didn't he lose his first match? Or is it his second match?
Not his first match, but yeah, he did lose quite early in his run. LA Knight is interesting to me because he carries himself like a bona fide star.
Yeah.
Like you see him, okay, this guy should be talking main events. He can talk.
Yeah.
He has a great look. Blah blah blah. But then it's almost as if WWE is trying to beat him down and start him over again.
Right,
like they want to treat him like a star. Like they're not gonna treat him like AJ Styles.
Humble him first and then work your way up. It could be it. It could be it. To me, that's exactly it. Like when I look at him, I'm like, something's missing. To be honest, like he can talk, he's very smooth. He's blah, 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 blah. He has a lot of quips, but for whatever reason, that charisma, that X factor is not there. Like with The Rock, like with Stone Cold Steve Austin, that there's that magnetism that makes me want more. But when I listen to LA Knight, it's like, okay, yeah, he delivers a solid promo, but okay, that's it.
You know when I really like Eli Drake in a promotion
when
I was watching NWA Power in 2019, his best character, which he showcased in NWA Power, right, is he's a shit stirrer.
Oh, okay.
So he comes in, he will needle someone, talk shit about this guy, and then like, this guy that you say is your friend, he also talk shit about you. So he just come in, cause chaos, and he walk off.
Oh.
So it almost became like he is like a lovable tweener / heel.
Yeah.
So acts better as that. So right now in NXT, I don't think he's had a chance to play that role. It seems like he's come in as this confident, arrogant heel straight away.
Yeah, like I'm the best. I'm a A-lister. Like
yes, correct.
A jacked Miz.
Yeah, in a way, and I don't think that's the right thing because he has a bit of that age where he can take care of himself. He can be tough in the ring.
Yeah.
But he likes to play mind games, and this ability to play mind games, I hope that he can showcase it. Like for example, right, I would love to see a confrontation between him and Karrion Kross and Finn Balor.
Okay, that's a bit too far down the line, lah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not there yet.
But that's like the kind of dynamic I think he will
Right.
shine really, really well. He'll be like, he's basically like the third guy, the Daniel Bryan in the situation.
Weaseling his way into the match. Tova King
yeah.
says LA Knight was pretty good in TNA, or Eli Drake anyway, and he also mentions that Pete Dunne looked good with that NXT UK title. Yeah, but Walter looks better, let's face it. Walter.
And before Walter had his long title reign, Pete Dunne had his long title reign with the UK Championship. So
yeah. Okay, let's move on. Then talking about Walter, he and Ciampa, to me, pulled the house down lah. Brought the house down. To me, this was the match of the night for night one.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
The thing is, I had so much anticipation going into this match. Okay, nothing against the NXT UK Championship. I think it's a beautiful title.
Yes.
But like, I don't care about the title,
Yeah, because we don't really follow NXT UK, right?
Yeah, that's one of them. Another thing is because the champions have been so dominant.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna expect Walter to lose. When Pete Dunne was in champion, I didn't expect him to lose anytime soon.
Yeah. This seems like they just brought him in to have a high-profile match. People know they'll deliver because he's going back and he's feuding with somebody else in NXT UK. So it's like, okay lah, why would they interrupt that program, right?
Yeah, that's true. But this match is the first time I kind of am really interested to see the outcome of an NXT UK Championship bout. Like, if Ciampa wins, it's gonna open up so many doors.
Yeah.
It might be an interesting twist, and you want to see what happens after that.
Right.
If Walter wins, I would say it's well deserved because he needs to keep on this very dominant run. So the stakes were very, very well laid out, and you kind of do not know who you want to win, but you have your favorites, but you were rooting for both.
Sure. Of course, the story of this match was Walter and his hand. He that's his biggest weapon, right? His chops, his right-handed chop. And then he tried to chop Ciampa moved, he smashed the table, he broke the announcer table. Yeah. And then they tried to show it and you can see the break is perfectly cut out marks on looks a bit, but okay, fine, I'll give it to you. He broke the table.
Bro, if you want it to be impressive, might as well let him just shatter the entire table.
Like the whole thing just dropped down.
Collapse, right?
Yeah. Remember that time with Toni Storm, and then she wanted to put somebody through the table, but the table just disintegrated.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot. This was on NXT as well.
Yeah, I was saying they should have done that with Walter. Just have the whole table just brung.
Oh my god, no. I can't remember the match against Sue, but Toni Storm was just taking out the monitors and then the whole thing dropped.
Yeah. Okay lah, to be fair, it sounds more painful if you just whack it and it doesn't break, but it just broke just enough. So I see where they're going with it. And then the whole story was can he finish off Ciampa with his busted ass hand, which he eventually did.
Yeah. One thing I like about Ciampa in this match was, he shaved his head. So thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Fine. Do you feel like he also he's still jacked, but he's smaller in size?
He got smaller, is it?
Yeah, he used to be. I don't know why in my memory he used to be bigger.
Well, he's always been, shredded.
Yeah.
But I do not know. I honestly, I think it's because he was just put in front of Walter. Then you realize, even though he's shredded, but he's a small shredded guy.
Yeah. He's still shredded lah, but he just looks small. Maybe after the neck injury as well, he spent less time bulking up. So I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he did mention, and here's the thing. I watched the promo. There was a promo package before the match, where Walter said that, you're no longer the man you used to be. You had your injury. Now you have a daughter, so you're not the same guy. You're not as vicious.
Yeah.
And and that really gave me a reason to he might have a weakness going to the match. How is he going to overcome that? All these are very, very interesting things that if you are a non-fan or if you're a casual viewer, you have no idea what's going to happen or what are the stakes. You just know that from the video package, okay, you know what's going to happen.
There you go. And that's why NXT, as far as the storytelling company, He's doing much better than AEW. I had to sneak that in. Tovakin says Ciampa looks like a cruiserweight. Now he does, dude. He's like way smaller. Where does Ciampa go from here then? Now that he's lost to Walter, like does he go on the whole redemption angle?
He go down to the cruiserweight championship lah.
Alamak. Actually,
okay.
Yeah.
The thing about Ciampa is like is he a face now?
Kind of.
Is he like a heel? I don't know.
There are a lot of tweeners. Actually, if you think about it, a lot of the sort of old guard in NXT, they are kind of universally loved. So it doesn't matter if they're heel or face, people still cheer them, kind of. So they are tweeners.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. It's interesting to see where he's going to go from here. Let's move on. Triple threat tag team match for the NXT tag team championships that were vacated because Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, one of them is injured, right? So MSK, GYV, and Legado del Fantasma.
Okay, I need to preface this by saying that this is the match that I was looking forward to least.
Because it was going to be a spot fest?
I mean, not because of the fact that, it's a tag team championship match. Like, I'm just... It's not... Don't blame me, blame WWE. They have trained me to not like tag team wrestling. So, like, it was hard for me to root for them. And also because, like, my favorites, like, out of the three was Grizzled Young Veterans. But it's so clear that from the moment the bell rang, right, I know that MSK was going to win. Like the way they positioned the match, MSK it looked like they had all the spotlight.
Yeah. Legado del Fantasma, they had a bit of shine, but, there was no way they were going to win.
People expected it to just be like a spot fest between Grizzled Young Veterans and MSK, right?
Yeah.
But then I think even the people backstage knew that. So that's why the first 10 minutes or what, it was just completely Legado just beating the shit out of all of them.
Okay lah, I mean, in a situation like this, you have to highlight all the teams, right? So, okay, we know you're not going to win. We give you 10 minutes of offense first. And then after that, we move on from that. But MSK picking up the victory. Like, I watched their interview on night 2. They really are like the street profits of NXT now. They are the New Day. They are to me, they are towing the line of being irritating. You know what I mean?
Can they put out a black tag team that is not a stereotypical black tag team?
But isn't one of them white?
Well, yes, kind of like looks caramel lah. But the point I'm trying to make is right, when you make the comparison with Street Profits, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Like they're going for this like young, hip, like street style,
and trying to be hip, use hip lingo, and it's, I don't know, maybe because we are old, we don't get it. Maybe the cool kids get it. Huh?
No, but I can name 4 tag teams that is having the same gimmick, like freaking Street Profits, Usos, The Acclaim, MSK.
Okay, wait. It's funny that you brought up the Usos, but I feel like Usos, they have much more charisma when they speak. There's that connection that they have. So I wouldn't put Uso in that group because I feel like, and their vibe is more like street thugs, whereas these guys are young punks.
Young punks, pretty boys.
Okay,
right?
You know who else on AEW? The Acclaim. They are sort of like that. But see, so you see that line of heel face, right? Heel versus face. Like MSK is just above the line in the face territory. Acclaim is just below the line in heel territory. But it's like they are just so close. They could very easily switch from face and like using hip lingo to become CB irritating.
You know who else is in the same category? Private Party.
Yes, that's another one. Yes, exactly it.
So what I'm trying to say is like all of them are leaning towards the same shit. Like, I know you like rap. I know you like all about the culture. You want to dress cool and all that. But like, if every one of you is like that, then fucking hell, you all just make one whole Black World Order or some shit. It's
like Div Royalty says a bit act too cool, and I agree.
Yeah, it's like stereotyping all the Mexican wrestlers. Everyone must have a mask. Everyone must have lucha libre.
Yeah. Div Royalty agrees as well. Usos are badasses, not party people. Yeah, I totally feel you guys. It's like that delineation between being badasses, like real tough guys, gangsters, versus young punks. And Private Party, Acclaim, MSK, Street Profits, they're all like young punks.
Correct. So I wish there was something to differentiate all of them other than that. Like
that young punk thing.
Yeah, like, okay, another great example about the Attitude Era. Every single tag team was so different from one another.
Yeah.
Like there's only one too cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Not 4.
To be fair, we are comparing across shows, right? Like, there's only one MSK in NXT. There's only one Street Profits on
SmackDown.
Oh my god, they have been so irrelevant. I forgot which brand they were on. SmackDown. And Acclaimed and Private Party, they are over on AEW. So technically, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's true. But you know what they say about in wrestling, right? Like, your gimmick has to be your own. Like, even if like you want to go to different promotions, you're gonna come across someone with the same gimmick. They will say, "Hey, this is my gimmick. Don't steal."
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, okay, maybe something as subtle. Okay, they want to play all street and culture can, but they are great technicians or they are great submission wrestlers.
I mean, we know they're high flyers, so
that's another thing. If they are like people of culture, people of street, they all have to be high flyers also.
Yeah. Okay. To be fair, Angelo Dawkins, he's more of the D'Lo Brown.
He's like, he's fucking D'Lo. He's like the fucking. I mean, he's like Shad.
Shad. Yeah. Like the other guy is the high flyer. He's more of the bigger size fella.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, MSK is a talented young tag team in NXT. The only thing they're lacking is charisma, and I think all of us can agree on that.
Yeah. Who are they facing next? Who are they challenging?
So that was decided in actually the pre-show of night 2.
Yeah.
So it was between Breezango and Maverick and Killian Dane.
Right.
Yeah. So the winner of that is going to be challenging MSK in a future tag team title bout.
Right. Interesting then, because it leads to a face versus face. If you think about it.
Yeah. So you know what? It's good because it balances out the heel champions that is on most of NXT right now.
Yeah, and speaking of heel champions, let's then move on to the NXT Women's Championship headlining night 1. Raquel Gonzalez. Wow, is it time? Is it her time? I think it is.
It is her time. But I'm sad to see Io go, man. Like,
well, I mean, she's not going anywhere, lah.
Well, you never know, man. Where does she go after NXT? Like, after this title defense, you think she's gonna stick around?
Or Kabuki Warriors Part 2.
Another stereotyping of Japanese wrestlers.
Oh my god.
Okay, but first of all, let's talk about that awesome dive that she did on top of the skull, man. Like, she just loves diving off of things.
That's her thing, like that's her entire gimmick, right?
Yeah. And do you see that super badass camera shot? The camera angle from the top of the roof.
Yeah.
Like, so where she's jumping from off the skull down.
Yeah. They had that set up for like the ladder matches, I'm sure.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't realize how high up it is, right? Until you see it from the vantage point of the wrestler.
Yeah, right. And the fact that she really has no freaking fear.
She is fearless, man.
Wow.
And when she jumped on Raquel, right? You can tell her hips smack the steel damn hard as well.
Oof, yeah.
So she definitely took a brunt of it. So we gotta give her some badass credit for that.
If there was any criticism, and there's very little, but if there's any criticism I would have for this match, is the last few moments of the match seemed like, all right, these are our choreographed moves for the end.
The ending sequence.
The ending sequence seemed like, all right, let's just go with the sequence that we have planned already. It just felt a little bit like that for whatever reason, but it is what it is. So
is Raquel's finisher that one-handed powerbomb thing?
Yes.
I mean, it looks cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, so how I know the match was gonna end and Raquel was gonna win? She's apparently the first person to kick out from Io's moonsault. Is it?
I don't know. Probably.
It seems like it, because the commentator seems to like really mark out when she kicked out from the moonsault. Right. So once that happened, I was thinking like, okay,
Raquel.
Yeah, Raquel. And there's gonna be a comparison. There's gonna be a parallel between this match and the Karrion Kross and Balor match as well. I'll show you the comparison in a bit.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, it was a good match. The ending was a little bit, choreographed. Yeah. But Walter and Ciampa, to me, stole night 1.
Yes, Walter and Ciampa made a great. It's almost like at the top of the hour. So the whole night 1 is 2 hours, right? So like it was like the halfway mark main event. They're like in the same position as like Batista, Undertaker in WrestleMania 23.
Well, and the difference is though with this one they had commercial breaks, because don't forget they were airing on Peacock but also on the USA simultaneously as well. So there you go. That's night 1. Night 2. We just came off of it, fresh in my mind. And I didn't watch the pre-show, but we just talked about Killian Dane and Drake Maverick beating Breezango, who are the resident, enhancement talent apparently. Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's great that this was a pre-show match, because this is definitely not TakeOver worthy.
No, but I mean, it's like, okay, at least you set up your tag team, future, right? So Killian Dane and Drake Maverick are going to face MSK, and I have to assume that this is just going to be a one-off. Sort of, they beat they beat Killian Dane and Drake Maverick because.
In a way, for me, MSK is gonna go on a long, lengthy title reign for sure.
Yeah,
like the way
they're not
been
gonna
building
lose.
him up.
Yeah.
So unless you're gonna have like a 6-month series with Grizzled Young Veterans, where Grizzled Young Veterans finally win the title, they are not gonna lose to anyone anytime soon. So why not put a monster tag team? When I say monster, it's just Killian Dane, not Drake Maverick. Put them over lah. So. This is the role that Drake Maverick is in currently. Right.
Well, also Tyler Breeze and Fandango lah, to be fair. So and
Killian Dane lah.
Oh yeah lah. So they're just there to they have clout because I mean Tyler Breeze, former NXT champion, former Fandango, former IC champ, right?
Yes. And they all have. I think they're busy running their wrestling school. Tyler Breeze is running a wrestling school with the Sean Spears guy, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I remember was because Peyton Royce is part of that school as a trainer as well.
Oh wow! Okay, so they train you to be a jobber. What they call the mid card.
If you remember
camp?
correctly, didn't Chris Van Vliet got chopped 20 times by their students?
Yeah. Okay.
It's that school lah.
The mid card school of wrestling.
Mid card academy.
Mid card academy.
How to be a mid-card.
MCA.
How to be a mid card and always have a job in wrestling but never main event.
Hey, we are very mean. Okay. Bad, Mr. Young.
Yes.
The kickoff of night 2, I'm not surprised. It made perfect sense. You need something exciting to get everyone hyped up, right? Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin. Okay,
was it though, bro?
Was it what?
Was it exciting for you, that match?
Yes. Oh, I'm guessing you didn't think it was that exciting.
No. Share with me your opinions.
Is it the Young Bucks have desensitized you to ladder matches?
No, it's not that, bro. It's not the sports that bothered me or anything.
Okay. I will tell you what bothered me about this match.
Sure.
Jordan Devlin looks boring as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god! I remember when he had his first NXT Cruiserweight Championship. There was a whole lead up. What was it? I can't remember what happened, but I felt excited about him. In this match, he felt like he was just going through the paces, and I felt no heat at all. In fact, if anybody, Santos Escobar, who's supposed to be the heel, he was being very charismatic. I was like, oh my god, like I was rooting for Santos Escobar. So there was this weird disconnect in this match. Like Santos, as the heel, I was cheering for the heel, and I didn't give two hoots about Jordan Devlin.
So that's my main problem with that match is you touched upon it a bit. I have no idea what Jordan Devlin is. Like, is he a heel? Is he a face? Because from what I remember, he was a heel. So this was technically a heel versus heel match. Yeah. But he has to be a heel because he's such a fucking boring face. Like, I wasn't rooting for him.
But yes, that's exactly it. Like, I'm like, who are you? What are you?
Like, there's no heat. Like, the only story that came is like, okay, I was the rightful NXT champion. I got injured or I can't travel. Yeah. Now I'm coming back. I want to reclaim my crown. But it's almost as I was watching the match, you know what? I don't want you to reclaim your crown, man. You like, fuck off lah.
Oh, you know what?
Santos Escobar is doing a much better job.
Yes. It felt like, okay, like Walter, like the Grizzled Young Veterans, he just came in for one match. He's going to fuck off later.
Yeah. It felt almost like that. It's almost like an exhibition match.
Yeah.
And for a ladder match and for like all the build with Shawn Michaels coming in with the ladder and all that, they have no. It doesn't feel like a rivalry. No chemistry, bro. Like literally no chemistry. And like
you're right.
Like, you know, the way they fight, it felt like I'm playing Raw versus SmackDown and I just happened to play a ladder match at exhibition option, you know. Okay. Just two random people fighting for no reason. And okay. The thing about Santos Escobar that I like is that he's not just a lucha libre high flyer. Yep. He's quite, grounded as well. He has just power moves, and that I think gave the match a bit of a story. Okay, like he's not gonna go all out with the ladder and stuff. So there was some brutal spots. But when I think what happened at the end when he kind of pushed Jordan Devlin, like he fell on top of the ladder.
Yeah, and they broke it.
And broke it and all that, right? I almost felt like a relief, like, oh, this match is over. Sad to say, I'm just disappointed by the opener.
Yeah, I think what it was expectations were a bit too high. And we all remember Jordan Devlin, like his first time winning the belt, and then he I can't remember for the life of me. He probably had a match with someone he had more chemistry with. I think you're right. Chemistry played a huge role in this match in that they had none. Like literally had none.
Maybe we were so fixated by the stipulation, the gimmick, and the story of the NXT, who is the true deserving NXT champion, that we forgot that maybe the players need to actually have chemistry and we want to see them fight.
Yeah, and there was no build. I mean, and it's kind of not their fault because he literally just came in a week or 2 weeks before. So I don't know. Maybe
I mean, as of now, I would say Jordan Devlin is just a poor man's Finn Balor. But literally, that's it.
Yeah, like in terms of physique, in terms of character.
He's everything that Finn Balor is already, but it's a realized version of it.
Yeah, like Finn Balor is Finn Balor is level 100, you know?
Yeah,
Jordan
he's like
Devlin
a fucking
level 2.
He's a fucking Charmander or like a Bulbasaur at this point.
Irvin, how are you doing? By the way, Irvin.
Hey, what's up, Irvin?
Irvin says, can see the wood when the ladder broke. Yeah! It's like... the ladder wasn't a metal ladder, it was wood. Which, you know, it's still painful, but it took away, I think.
You know what? Wood still feels painful, bro.
Yeah, the splinters and everything.
If you know how it feels like to bump and land your head on a IKEA table, right? You know it's still painful.
But I mean, you immediately know, okay, that's a prop ladder. That's not a proper ladder, you know. Irvin also says Devlin looks too dorky. Oh my god, you're right.
Oh my god! See all the shit thing about Jordan Devlin all starting to come out already.
Yeah, why you're so bad? You know why? I mean, he still put his body on the line for that match. You know, he suffered for his art. But yeah, actually, this is the thing about a lot of the guys in NXT right now, and we'll get to it later. But a lot of them look very like, you know, default character in WWE 2K.
You know, when I was watching this match, who was I thinking of? I was thinking in my mind, right? If this guy was still in WWE, still in NXT, still in the Cruiserweight division, he would be a perfect opponent for Escobar. And it would be badass.
Who?
Adrian Neville.
Oh my god.
Remember before Neville got fired from WWE, he was like the king of the cruiserweights. He had this like dominant run, and we thought the cruiserweight felt like very important. Imagine him, his grounded base style against some Escobar. I think they would have had a Triple H Rock ladder match like SummerSlam 98.
Ooh, actually that's a very good comparison.
It wouldn't be super high flying, but it would be violent and brutal.
I think that's kind of what they were going by. Yeah, the lack of chemistry and just the sheer boringness of Devlin.
The charisma
Black
hole.
Yeah. Irvin says Devlin looks dorky and maybe he needs a mask. Ayo.
Holy shit!
No,
you guys are trashing words.
Do you feel like Devlin maybe didn't put like I don't want to say it because that seems rude, you know? But it felt like he was going through the motions. There was no intensity.
He can't be because this is like the biggest opportunity he's had in his entire career. Like,
yeah, but don't you think like you were watching the match, like I didn't feel any like intensity out of Jordan Devlin, and Escobar kind of felt like he was playing. He was smiling, like, you know, like not taking it seriously. So I'm like, what's going on?
You know what I think? What? I think they have no chemistry prior beforehand. Yeah. And Escobar is not really well versed in talking English that well, right?
And Devlin's English is probably very heavily accented.
Yeah, very Irish. So probably they came in with a game plan. Yeah. And I felt like they were trying their hardest to follow step A, step B, step C, step D, regardless of what happened. So it wasn't really flowing like very naturally. That's and it's kind of obvious now that I think about it, right? I felt like I think they because of their lack of chemistry, they were trying too hard to deliver a game plan, but maybe it just came across not as well.
Yeah, and I mean, Devlin is still very young also, so he probably doesn't have the experience to pull it off, like, you know, in the moment. Anyway, so the main takeaways is Devlin needs to wear a mask. Boring. Poor thing. But yeah, Santos Escobar is the proper cruiserweight champion. What is interesting is his son came out and celebrated with him. I was like,
yeah. It felt like a face, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's going on? Is it like NXT? They're looking at him going, "Hey, this fella is gaining popularity. Like maybe they're slowly turning him to a good guy."
Okay? I do not know about you, but I feel like I still think he's a great heel. He just needs a better face to fight off across. You know, who do you think should be the next contender for the Cruiserweight Championship?
The muscle champion. No, Kushida. But Kushida is also another bland fella now.
Do you think Leon Ruff could go back down to Cruiserweight?
Well, I mean, maybe. And
he was right at that point in time.
And it would work because it would play up to Santos and his stables, like, you know, strong points, which is to just bully the shit out of Leon Ruff, get a lot of babyface heat.
Yeah. But also, you know, I know Leon Ruff and Swerve was part of the Cruiserweight title picture for a while, and they moved on from that. So I don't know whether you're going to introduce new talent or I got some suggestions, people who's not doing shit on the main roster.
Aleister Black.
That could come back. Well, anyone that is sitting at the locker room when Bobby Lashley was putting out the heat.
Ali and Ricochet come back, huh?
You know what? Ali should go NXT, man.
Yeah. And then he can go into NXT mid-card and slide back down.
Ali came into WWE through 205. He never went through NXT, right?
Actually, why not? Why not? And
Ali in NXT.
Ali in NXT. And you know who debuts as his bodyguard? T-Bar! No, Dominic Dijakovic. Cannot T-Bar because they broke up already.
Yeah. You know what? Ali would be great. Someone else that would be great is I don't know whether he wants to sink down back to this level, but I think he is at this level. Ricochet.
Yes, Ricochet.
I think Ricochet would make a great cruiserweight champion. You know.
Yeah.
You know who else?
Who?
Angel Garza.
What the hell is Angel Garza doing? Poor thing. Hey, Angel Garza. Look. Okay. You know what they should do then? They should. Okay. What do you think of Raul Mendoza and Joaquim Wild as his lackeys? They are boring as F to me.
Yeah, they do nothing for me.
They should be
wearing the mask.
Yeah, they are really just like okay, they're just standing there. What if Angel Garza joined Legado del Fantasma? Then you have two very charismatic. Is it? And you could have like a nation revolt at some point also.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Now that you mentioned all this, right? I just thought of someone that would really do well in the cruiserweight division.
Ooh.
And you will love him as well.
Okay.
Humberto Carrillo.
Oh my god. Dale gas. Oh my god.
He fucking shredded now, bro. I think he deserves it.
I don't even know why. I haven't seen him since, you know, that random shot of him in the locker room when Bobby Lashley was handing out bounties.
Hey, you know what? Okay, I know we haven't gone through WrestleMania yet, but post WrestleMania, right? If they're going to do a draft, I think they should do a tri-branded draft.
Oh, with NXT?
Yeah, with NXT, because I feel like if they're gonna treat NXT like a serious third brand, they should have like people from Raw and SmackDown joining NXT, and it's a big deal. Like how when Kurt Angle joined ECW, like whoa, it was a cool thing.
Actually, that would be huge, and that would really shake things up and give people fresh looks. Especially like you talk about Io Shirai, like all of a sudden she gets drafted to SmackDown, and like whoa, or Ricochet gets drafted back to NXT, like whoa.
And this is a very random move to NXT, but Edge has already said in numerous interviews that he wants to work with NXT talent. What if I don't know how much of a thing that he wants to do, but what if he gets drafted to NXT and he becomes this veteran guy in NXT that's fighting all the talent, putting over the new generation?
Irvin says Mansoor.
Hey, Mansoor is the king of WWE main event right now. Okay.
Oh, is he really? Obviously I don't watch. How you know? You watch main event?
Bro, every time you watch the SmackDown or Raw highlights, right after that they will have like 3 video clips of main event or some shit and nobody watches. Only got like 30,000 views or some shit. And then I just curious, I just watched.
Mansoor?
Apparently Mansoor is like has some sort of undefeated streak, bro.
Are you serious? What serious. The Mansoor?
Guys, watch main event
for Mansoor. Oh, are they going back to freaking Saudi Arabia at some point. That's why Mansoor all of a sudden having a dominant run.
I don't know, man. I think they need to keep the it's either that or like they try to get the Indian talent up and running in 205 at main event.
Oh, right. Wait, Mansoor is Indian or Saudi Arabian?
He's Saudi Arabian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But based on we didn't mention it in our Hall of Fame discussion about Great Khali.
Yeah.
So Great Khali apparently seems to be very integral in bringing a lot of Indian wrestlers and talent through. So they need somewhere to perform and practice, right?
Yeah. What, NXT India? What? Isn't that a thing that's going to happen soon?
I'm not too sure about what's the latest news is on that.
The NXT India champion. Who else?
Jinder Mahal.
Yes, Jinder Mahal. Inder Shah.
Yeah, Inder Shah like appeared in NXT and after he disappeared.
It's just to give them the shine for a bit, and then we need you at NXT India to push the brand because we have no other Indian talent.
You know what? I think NXT needs a second show. NXT Dark Elevation. No, because NXT has a lot of talent. But the very seasoned ones are the one that's always performing at a high level on the NXT main shows. Yeah. But they have all those new recruits at the NXT Performance Center.
Okay, I don't think we need a show for that. People don't need to see how green they are, like on NXT Dark and Elevation. I keep whenever we talk about people being green, I keep thinking about that clip of Luchasaurus, and I don't know who he was wrestling. You've seen it, right? On like Botchamania and
what happened,
WrestleBotch. No, they just ran at each other. That they completely miscue and like gave away the business.
Oh,
so like,
yeah.
He tried to touch him, and they like, what are we doing? Reset.
And then he ended it with like a choke slam or some shit, right? Just to hide it out.
Or something like that. It's like, wow, like, it looks so bad. I'm like, oh, no wonder Luchasaurus is not doing shit on AEW right now. He's green AF, not just his face mask. But
it's so funny, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? But back to the cruiserweight title.
Yeah. Hold on. Just on that note, one more thing I want to say.
Sure.
Like an NXT like a undercard show. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody want to see Boa in a wrestling match. Okay. So nobody wants to see that show.
Hey, but I want to see Tian Sha, man, and Xia Li. I mean, they're interesting.
They are on the They are on NXT proper, just like with their own little segments facing off against Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter.
Okay, some people say that NXT moving to 2 hours is detrimental to their brand. What do you think? Do you think they are doing okay with 2 hours?
Yeah, they're doing perfectly fine. I don't see the problem at all.
Yeah.
It's only if they ever have to go to 3 hours, then that's a problem because that's a bit too long.
Too long.
With so many shows this week, especially, I was very happy that night 1 was only 2 hours. I was very happy. I was like, oh wow, okay, it's not overwhelming. Like night 2 this morning was a bit long. I think it was 2 hours and like 30 minutes.
2.5 2 hours 40
thereabouts.
Bro, but you know what? Karen Cross and Finn Balor finished, like by the time their match finished, it was like only 1 hour 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So blame Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole.
Bro, they freaking just went out. I'm looking at the stats of it right now, right? By the way, it's a 40-minute match. They went 40 minutes. You know what? Triple H and HBK, they were like, just wait. We don't have time limit anyway. What? Because they are not on USA. They are just on their own Peacock or their own WWE network.
We gotta talk about the match in a bit for sure.
Yeah. Ember Moon, Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart won. No surprise there. I didn't feel a lot. Like we've talked about The Way, especially Candice and Indy don't really click with me.
They never look like likely to win the tag team titles. Like it feels like they're just gonna fight, but then you're gonna lose eventually.
And Indy is still, for whatever reason, just doesn't resonate. Like, what are you? Like,
who are you?
Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who is she? Like she's Candice LeRae's lackey.
Yeah. But one thing that she has, right, that it seems to go under the radar. I think she has the size, she looks powerful.
Okay, here's the thing though. It's funny that you bring that up because I was just about to say it. But she has maybe she's lanky, but she's not built. So her frame looks weird. Okay, maybe not weird. It looks different. It's like I don't know who I can compare it to.
Like Toni Storm a bit, is it?
No, not like Toni Storm has like a strong base, them thick thighs, she tight. I like it. But it's like an edge. Like some of his moves look weird because of his frame.
Because he's tall and lanky.
Yeah, and I feel like Indy has that same thing about her.
Okay, but not too tall and too lanky until like Raquel Gonzalez lah.
No, but Raquel Gonzalez is built like she's built like a Beth Phoenix, like
she's
China.
She's
Yeah, like when you look at her, oh, she looks it. But with Indy, it's like I don't feel that intimidation. I mean, she could probably whoop my ass, lah. But I mean, let's just say
it's almost like her size, her lankiness, like kind of hides her actual strength. Does that make sense? Like she could be really, really strong because when I look at her, especially when you put her side by side with Candice, right?
Oh yeah, she looks big.
You know.
Irvin says she looks like a star, like a Sonia Deville, but she's not committing to her character enough.
And that's why she's still like under the tutelage of Candice LeRae in the sense that she's not her own person lah.
Yeah, Div Royalty says waiting for the turn on the way for Loomis. Yes. Becomes like
I think that's probably the rivalry going out of this NXT.
Okay, so Div Royalty brings up Michelle McCool. Her frame is kind of like I think so. Like Michelle McCool is skinnier, and leaner, but you're right. She has that tall-esque frame which makes her moves seem a bit clunkier, like Michelle McCool, like an Edge. There you go.
Maybe
That's a great comparison.
Like a Summer Rae.
I don't think I've watched enough Summer Rae to remember.
Okay, but I get what you mean. Like, she just looks like someone who feels like a bit awkward in her movements. But again,
maybe that's why she should pair up with Dexter Loomis, because they both have that awkward vibe about them.
Oh my god! Don't tell me they're gonna be a romance thing.
Yeah, and then they just look at each other, and then
stare at each other.
Yeah, and do nothing. Like literally, 30-second stare at each other. Then the commentators are, what the hell's like? Can we cut? No, I would love to see. Yes. Oh my god, let's do it. Let's go.
All right. Let's go.
I ship Indy Hartwell and Dexter Loomis.
It's like a serial killer and the victim like that.
Yeah. Well, not really victim lah, but she falls for him or whatever. Yes, let's go.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes. The match itself, it was fine. Shotzi had one dive that looked a bit like whoa. She dived through Candice and Indy like a tope. But it didn't look like they caught her properly, so she like went straight into the freaking floor. I was like, "Whoa!"
Shotzi very fearless, bro. She's like devil may care attitude. Bro.
Yeah. But beyond that, though, them retaining, it didn't feel like that was how it was supposed to go.
Yeah, but you know what? Amber and Shotzi should still keep the titles. I really like their pairing.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty cool, and I kind of like the spot where Amber is in. She's like this veteran in NXT. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. Johnny Gargano with Austin Theory, the himbo apparently, versus Bronson Reed.
Okay.
No, you didn't enjoy this match?
Okay, I wanted to say that this match showcased how great of a wrestler Gargano is. Yeah. Because he really carried Bronson Reed in this match. Like Bronson Reed, he's deserving of this spot, definitely. Like I'm not putting down the work he's put in to put himself in this spot, but there's a reason why he took so long to get the spotlight. I just feel that if it wasn't Gargano against him, opposite him in the ring, he wouldn't have such a takeover worthy match.
I mean, basically it's Johnny Gargano's job to put him over lah, in which I think he did quite well. He still kind of won and almost kind of clean. Like I know Austin Theory was there and you know whatnot.
The tsunami thing. The longer the match went, the more I thought that Bronson Reed is not gonna win.
Yeah.
It felt weird because like the way they were booking him, I thought like okay, they're gonna put the title on him. It felt like that, right? But then, like, you know what? I'm happy that Gargano is still a champion. He's entertaining to me.
Yeah. I mean, right now with the way, he's definitely the star. But Austin Theory is finally starting to show some, like, okay, he's a bit of a himbo. He does stupid things.
Yeah.
And it fits his face. I don't know how to say it, like, you know,
He reminds me of those people on this reality TV show on Netflix. Do you know what I'm talking about? Too Hot to Handle. Have you heard of that?
Is it the one where they're like, all half naked all the time on the island?
They're all in the island. They're all half naked, but they can't have sex.
Yeah. I watched that. Oh my god, what a trash show.
Oh my god, Austin Theory will be perfect on that show, right?
Yeah. Like he's like super into himself. Like, okay, he is what I wish Riddle would be right now. Oh, also, can we just say Rob Van Dam, Hall of Fame? Where was the interview with Riddle? Where is the interaction? I hope it happens on Raw. Okay, maybe on Raw. Thorn. Oh, I think we have a bit of lag right now.
Hello.
There we got a still picture of his beautiful face. He looks like a man slut. Oh my god, he reminds me of Sean's. Dovahkiin says he reminds Austin Theory reminds Dovahkiin of Sean Stasiak. Meat. Yes, he's a meat.
Oh shit. Yeah. Wait. I was just thinking. I think they're saving the interaction from Riddle and Rob Van Dam at WrestleMania.
Oh, you think so? WrestleMania or Raw? I think.
I don't know. I think it will be WrestleMania. Imagine they just like a very simple backstage segment. I think it will be really, really cool. And then now it seems like they're very open to say the word hi and make a lot of drug references. So can you imagine? I really can imagine this backstage segment. Riddle say, "Bro, you getting into the Hall of Fame is like the highest honor ever, bro."
Yeah.
And Rob Van Dam was like, "Man, I've been on a lot of highs, but I definitely agree with you."
Yeah. Like all the marijuana references will get put out. For sure. And I'm definitely there for that.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let's move on then. Karrion Kross with Scarlett versus Finn Balor. Were you surprised this wasn't the main event, like the end of the card match?
I was surprised at first, but then I tried to reason it out and then I realized that maybe the WWE is like making the unsanctioned match stipulation something like a lights out match where it happens after the main event.
Also, if you think about it, right, when you realize, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole was 40 minutes long. So if they knew they were going to go that long, I think they knew that the audience would be burnt out by then. If you have your title match after that match, I think people would have tuned out or like not paid attention to the title match.
Also, if you realize the title match when it ended, right, it was right before 2 hours. So it felt like officially it was the main event.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So this is like the vibe is there like, this is an unsanctioned like lights out match. So I guess it makes sense. Okay. You know, but why didn't they put like, you know, like actually promote it like that? Like call it like you like, it is, right? Like, you know, like how AEW, like what they did with the lights out match, they switch off the light, switch it back on.
Well, first of all, we got to talk about Karrion Kross's costume. He looked like a fucking
gladiator, bro.
I mean, you know what's the first thought that came to my mind?
What?
I want to hear Jim Cornette's reaction to his clothes.
What Wonder Woman skirt?
He will be like, "What is this gay ass shit?"
Hey, walao. Hey, no lah. Gladiators used to wear that shit, okay? My big problem with Karrion Kross is, like, look, I've said this before, I'll say it again, right? He is lacking some kind of intensity. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. When you look at Finn Balor just needs to look into the camera and you're like, whoa, I can feel it. Karrion Kross,
I can feel his abs.
Yeah, you can feel his abs. Karrion Kross doesn't have that yet. Like, he just makes angry faces. Like, I cannot take it seriously when he makes angry faces.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Like, his angry faces doesn't feel intense and intimidating.
Yeah.
It feels like
yeah, right, like me. But when Finn Balor just looks at you one sideways and then he looks like whoa, you get like there's this boiling intensity that Finn has mastered that Karrion Kross doesn't have yet. Karrion Kross has the size, he has everything else. But
then again, it took a while for Finn to get to this stage. Like he was the smiling baby face. Everyone thought he was too vanilla, too bland.
Yeah, and but in Bullet Club in New Japan, he already kind of had it. He has it's the X factor lah. Like it's that intangible that you cannot, you can train, I guess. But you know, some people just have it. Like a Rock, when he just stands there and smolders. With Stone Cold, when he just stands there and looks at you, like, oh shit, don't mess, DTA, whatever, right? Like Finn Balor.
Stone Cold stare at you opposite you in the ring, right? You get fucking scared.
Yeah, exactly. Like Finn Balor, like even in New Japan, when he would do the hand sign with the gun, whatever shit, like whoa, like he will fuck you up, you know? When Karrion Kross does it, it's like, he's just making like faces.
Other than Karrion Kross, who else has this like trying to act too tough face but actually cannot make it face?
Who else?
Like I would say I mean the Miz no need to say lah. The Miz will never be able to give a tough guy face.
Hey, what are you saying? He's a great actor, okay?
Yeah lah, a great acting tough guy face.
Yeah, acting. There's the key. He's acting.
Yeah, he's acting. Okay, like even like someone like Riddle, right?
Oh, I know already. I know who.
Who?
Bobby Lashley for a long time. Now he has the cool. They figured out like the exact recipe to make him look cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't say too much. He says a bit. But remember last time when he would try to be intense and you just couldn't get it?
Got it. He, because of, again, like nice guy, pretty face, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like someone I can take actually very seriously, even though like he's damn laid back, like I said, is Matt Riddle.
Yes.
Like when Matt Riddle looks intense, right, you know, like, oh, this fucker is pissed off.
Yeah. Like,
so
look at Ciampa has it. Gargano when he's like, you know, not
angry.
not the current heel chicken shit heel Gargano lah. When he's angry, you can feel it. Karrion Kross to me doesn't have it. That's why I'm like, and his whole vibe was the presentation. Remember when he first came out, and then you got Scarlett doing the whatever bullshit, acting all like sexy but creepy. Now it's more like, oh, I'm an MMA guy, judo, karate.
It's a mix lah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought it was going to be a permanent change, but actually it's not, you know. I felt like, I think he just, for the purpose of this match and rivalry, he said, I need to go back to the basics.
Yeah. Sure.
And do like, you know, do the striking, do the stuff. If nothing else, right, this match, I think what WWE is going for is trying to make him look dominant, like really dominant.
Yeah.
Because Finn Balor, right, he said in his pre-match interviews and promos, he said that he's gonna leverage on his emotions. Karrion Kross is gonna lose this match because he kind of kept a handle of his emotions, but that didn't really come into play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got angry. He kinda slapped. He got angry, but he became more dominant. He didn't lose control because he lost his emotions.
Well, that's the whole point, right? Like at the end, he finally lost control, but he still won. And it backfired on Finn Balor. So that's the that's the whole story. You know where else this story played out, by the way? Which movie?
What?
That you should let your control go and just be yourself. The last scene of Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
You remember Jude Law's character, Yon Rock, kept telling Captain Marvel to control your rage, control yourself.
But once you let it go, you actually become the true potential.
So that's kind of like, but to be honest, I rolled my eyes at Captain Marvel and I kind of rolled my eyes. So I'm just not feeling that whole.
It was very interesting you brought that comparison because like Captain Marvel is like one of those very forgettable Marvel movies. But,
it's okay. To me, it boils down to maybe Karrion Kross is not there yet. He's definitely got the potential, but he's just not there yet. Like Irvin says, like in Apollo Crews, like Jordan Devlin, they don't have that intense
well,
expression.
For a guy who's not a complete product, he's already a 2-time champion. You know what I think? Like Karrion Kross, he wasn't ready to carry the title when he won it from Keith Lee, in my opinion. I think it was too early at that point in time.
Okay.
Yeah, but then he got injured, and now this is his second go around. So can you imagine if he didn't get injured and he had that long title run from the moment he won from Karrion Kross, from Keith Lee? When do you think he would have dropped the title? Wouldn't it be today? Wouldn't it have carried all the way until WrestleMania weekend?
Lose to who? Like if he didn't get injured, do you think they would have brought Finn Balor? Hey, wait, was Finn Balor back already?
Finn Balor was already back, but he would have never been like the top guy.
Right, he would have been just there to put people over lah. So I guess in this way that Finn Balor was okay lah. I'll just hold the championship until this guy is ready, and then give him the huge rub of beating me.
Yeah. So like he basically, Karrion Kross had 2 chances to get a big rub and get a big title victory.
Yeah.
So the onus now is on Karrion Kross to prove that he's a dominant champion because Finn Balor didn't make it easy, It wasn't like a Brock Lesnar squash Finn Balor type of situation.
Yeah.
He really made him earn for it. Like I can tell, I think it's the way Finn Balor has been working recently. His stuff is damn
super.
Like the strikes look like hurt, man.
It's got to be like that. That's what makes him good. You know, that's what the best performers are. Snug but not dangerous. Like your Bret Harts, like your Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit. You know,
but Finn Balor never showed this intensity on the main roster. You know, I thought like the way he fought was like too safe, too babyface. I mean, obviously because he was a babyface, but in NXT there's this edge to the way he fight. Like it's like when I watch Walter fight, like they are gonna be in pain.
It's his Prince character lah. You know, and also the fact that they are in NXT and they seem to be able to go a little bit harder. You know,
so in spite of like Finn giving like his 100% intensity and all that, Karrion Kross still came out on top. So what this shows is that now NXT has really made Karrion Kross this unstoppable figure. Basically, he's like the most dominant guy. He just beat the most dominant fighting champion that NXT has had in a while.
Yeah.
Who is he gonna face next? That's the next question.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Next Tuesday night. Wow. Now we have every day got wrestling for us. Tuesday is Raw, Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning is NXT. Thursday morning is AEW. Friday a break. Then Saturday morning is SmackDown. Woo!
That's why Friday is the perfect time to do our podcast.
Yeah, we can actually finally cover everything properly. Dave says Karrion's character is still very tentative. Need to commit a bit more. Scarlett definitely is leaning in more than him right now. Yes, I agree. I don't think Scarlett is too much of a distraction. I mean, she's a very welcome distraction for some people, I would think.
Sure.
This is the most random thing, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but right at the start of the match when they were in the ring and they were doing their posing, Scarlett kept checking her boob. She kept like some scared that something pop up. I'm like, what are you doing, girl?
Bro, you know what? I'm happy to report that I never even noticed that. So
I noticed the weirdest things, the most minute, weird, random details. Like, what are you doing? Why she keep looking down? Checking.
Maybe if it was Alexa Bliss, I would probably be looking at her all the way and concentrating on what she's doing.
Stop it, bro! Stop it!
You know, I know I'm still wishing I'm Randy Orton, but that's another story.
Okay.
For another day.
Yes, this match definitely a good match. The focus obviously was on Finn's neck. And so the whole ending sequence made sense. Saito suplex, big forearm to the neck, and boom, he's dead.
Well, the thing that, and I wanted to link back to what I said earlier, that this has a parallel to the Io Shirai Raquel Gonzalez match, is how I knew Karrion Kross was gonna win is when he kicked out of the coup de grace.
Oh, yes.
So I thought okay, it's gonna be a coup de grace. And usually in his current Prince gimmick, he will do the coup de grace, then he will bring him up, do the 1916, right?
Yeah.
And that will be the end of it. But he went for pin straight away. And then when he kicked out, I was thinking but I guess he's not winning.
But this is NXT, where finishes don't matter. remember Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, they're kicking out of their finishes left, right, and center. Ciampa, like WrestleMania also you know? The one time of the year where everybody's finisher all of a sudden is depowered.
Do you feel like the way Karrion Kross decimated Finn Balor was especially impressive? Like, he ended him by literally doing all these forearm shots to the back of his neck over and over.
I wonder if this is just Finn Balor saying, all right, I'm going to take a break for a while and then come back. Maybe he's going to come back on Raw or SmackDown draft.
That was what I was thinking. It felt like a very definitive ending. Like, he really put over Karrion Kross to the point that I don't think he even going to ask for a rematch. Like, he
died.
Ended him.
He ended him, and he's just going to show up on Raw. And I really hope...
Boy did.
Boy did, yo. I hope he shows up on the main roster or Raw or SmackDown and freaking just goes with this Prince character and just tears the house down. Like, he's hit a whole new high.
Bro, Finn Balor as the Prince character, I think can challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title.
Oh my god, yes! Oh, right. Yes. Let's pray to the wrestling gods.
Finn Balor, as this character, can challenge Drew McIntyre for the title.
Yes.
And it will be like Irie versus Scotland.
Oh my god, yeah. So many permutations. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I would trade, this is what I would think. I would trade Finn Balor to NXT and actually bring Edge in to NXT.
Swap them,
because,
right?
I mean, this is too early for me to say, but I don't think Edge is going to win the title. And I think he will do his veteran run in NXT.
So Edge versus Karrion Kross? Put over Karrion Kross.
Remember they had an early foreshadowing?
Yeah, they did, maybe. There you go. Okay, main event. Here we go. Oh, the unsanctioned match.
Yes.
Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. The first thing that really struck me
I know what you're going to say.
You know exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Their entrances.
Damn.
Were horse shit.
Adam Cole, baby, doesn't feel right anymore.
No. And okay, here's the thing. First of all, Kyle O'Reilly comes out looking like I cannot take him. He does not look like a main event star.
Bro, Kyle O'Reilly, was he cosplaying as like Green Arrow or something?
I don't know, but he looked like so bland, and his music is so bland I'm like, okay, whatever,
Oh my
right?
God, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Adam Cole comes out to some generic shit as well.
He should have kept the Undisputed Era theme song, bro.
Yes. But no, he has a new theme song. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe they are really selling the whole Undisputed Era is gone. Let's drop the gimmick. But he still does the boom when there's no boom in the song.
Yeah. And then he did the Adam Cole baby when there's no cue for the Adam Cole baby.
I'm like, it just. Oh, maybe we're just too used to the whole entrance of the Undisputed
they
Era.
should, okay, even they want to do a new theme song, they should at least add certain cues in the song so they can do the similar thing. If not, right, they could have done what Hulk Hogan does. Like, he basically do a remix of his original theme song.
Yes.
Like NWO, and then when he went off and did his own thing, he was like a Voodoo Child remix.
Yeah, exactly. And NXT has done, or WWE in general, okay lah, can be quite hit and miss lah, to be fair.
I am very worried
Yeah.
because ever since post CFO, like the new person who took over the music has been like delivering shitty theme songs, and it's just a very big coincidence, bro. Like I was actually watching WWE's signature sounds, like behind the scenes on theme songs on the WWE network, like yesterday night. I was just randomly looking through stuff because I was thinking in my head, someone who's very deserving of like a Warrior Award should be Jim Johnston.
Yes, the guy who came up with some of the most classic entrance musics.
Yeah, he worked in WWE for 32 years.
Yeah.
He basically a one-man band. He does all the instruments. And I read up, like, from the documentary, right? There was actually a lot of things that he did that was never really well spotlighted or highlighted. He actually wrote the score for all of WWE's films. From No Holds Barred all the way until like the Marine, the Condemned, and all that kind of shit. All was in-house his music.
Wow.
He did the WrestleMania theme song. Remember the Linda McMahon one?
Which one?
The Linda McMahon theme song.
Yeah. Classics, yeah. Okay.
Classic shit.
To be fair, like, I think in this era, maybe his style might not work.
But the thing, okay, I give you an example of a theme song that he did that was a modern theme song. He was the one that actually created Randy Orton's Voices theme song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh my God, bro, I need to send you the link. This is fucking blew my mind. So like it was an episodic episode. So like one episode talk about him creating a different theme song. So yes, all the Attitude Era stuff, Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Undertaker, all he did.
Is this on network or is it on YouTube?
It's on network and it's on YouTube. There's clips of it on YouTube.
Okay.
So he actually came up with Randy's theme song. He wrote it on an acoustic guitar. It was like a folk song at first. So he said he sat down and he thought about like what would Randy be like, what his character is. So he actually modeled the song after him. Because Jim Johnston said, I'm a very shy guy, I don't like to perform that kind of stuff. So I'm just thinking about this guy who is very quiet and he's sitting in his living room and he's like angry with the world. He feels like he got something to contribute. So that's why he started playing on the guitar, like, you got your rules in your religion. And then like I was like, oh shit, he's the one that's singing it. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And then he said like he felt like at the chorus, he needed to have some sort of release. Like this guy is in pain and he has this release. So it's like, I hear voices in my head. So if you think about it like musically, right, even if you're not a musician, you also realize, that part like is a nice climax from the beginning. So he wrote that as an acoustic song. And then he said, you know what, but it's for wrestlers theme song. I gotta amp it up, I gotta rock it up. So he basically just boosted everything. And then he engaged Rev Theory. So all these years, I thought Rev Theory is the one that wrote the song. But no, the songwriter, the composer was Jim Johnston.
Wow.
And he basically gave the song to Rev Theory. And one thing about him that not a lot of people know, right, is that, okay, Jim Johnston, he is a one-man musician, composer kind of thing. But he loves to give theme songs to undiscovered bands to give them exposure.
Wow.
So before that, right, bands like Shinedown, Fuel, Creed, all these like mid-2000 bands, right, that always on the pay-per-view, right, they got their exposure from being in WWE.
Right.
But he was frustrated because he did an interview. Okay, I'm going very, very insider on this, bro. He did an interview with Billboard, like before he got fired from WWE. He said he was very, very frustrated on the music industry's perception of WWE.
Okay.
Because every time he approached bands and all this like labels and say, hey, can I have your band to do a theme song for this wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't understand like the benefit for the band. Like, why should I make a theme song for a wrestler? You know, what do I get out of it? But bands and labels die want to go on MTV. And then he made the argument that no one watches MTV anymore.
Yeah.
But wrestling, if your guy's theme song, like Alter Bridge or what, is on a wrestler's team, he will be played ad nauseum for the entire career. You have a 40-year shelf life.
Correct.
Right? So he's angry because like all these music industry people don't realize the value of having your artist perform or be part of WWE because they think like WWE is gonna own it. But no, WWE actually pays royalties to the artist even. Right. So even theme songs like Evolution, all those Motorhead theme songs. Yeah. It wasn't composed by Motorhead. It was composed by Jim Johnston, bro.
Wow, that actually is blowing my mind right now. I never knew that. Yeah,
bro. That's why I was like, when I was watching, my mind got blown. So he literally wrote the theme song, and then he found out from Triple H that he's a big fan of Motorhead. Then he asked like try his luck. Hey, you think Motorhead will do a theme song for me? And then he said, you know what? I'm gonna write the song first. Send it to Lemmy. And then Lemmy heard it. Then he's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna record it. I like it. Then they add their own thing. So they basically work collaboratively.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So that is how important Jim Johnston is to WWE's success, and that is what making me so scared about the future of music in WWE. If all the shit is bland, it's because they don't have this genius, someone like Jim Johnston, trying to make things work.
Right now, the music, especially with we talk about Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole's, right? It really seems like they just pulled it out of a catalog. It's like, okay, we give you 20 songs, you all just listen, see which one fits you.
Yeah.
See which one you like. And
it's like YouTube music like that.
Yeah, it's super bland. And like when they both came out and this is like your main event, I was a bit like, ew. Okay, let's talk about the actual match itself.
Yeah. We were like 20-minute tangent.
Yeah.
10-minute tangent. Yeah.
I feel like AEW has desensitized me a bit already. Watching, because their stuff is like they go overboard lah, right?
Yeah,
they go straight Attitude Era. Like Kyle and Adam, they had a few like really painful looking spots, but nothing I haven't seen on AEW. So I was
get what you mean. Yeah. Okay, I will talk about the spots that I really like. I really like when they use the chain.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't violent per se, but it was very creative.
Yeah.
Things like the clothesline, the knee wrap around in chain. I think that was quite brutal and cool.
Yeah.
The one spot that I think everyone will talk about is when they did that spot through the steel grating at the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite brutal. But like you said, like I felt like maybe because the match went on very, very long, and I started to. I'm being very, very honest. I started to switch off like the last 10 minutes. Like I thought like this is not ending.
Yeah.
Not in a good like, oh my god, this is not ending. They can fight forever.
Yeah.
It's like in a Randy Orton last man standing kind of vibe.
It felt a bit draggy, yes. And the thing is, it felt a bit draggy and it didn't seem like they were going to do some crazy spot. I don't know why. The whole time watching this, I'm like, okay, they are like playing it safe.
Yeah.
Like, or that's the perception of it anyway.
But this is NXT. Like, even if they want to say they want to go unsanctioned, it can't be that violent. What?
Yeah, but I thought
they
would
have to stay within PG.
No, but they are on the network. Right? They are not on USA. So technically, they can go. Okay, like it is WWE in general. So
yeah.
I mean, it was still a good match. Don't get me wrong. And like I said right at the top of our preview here, every match I think delivered. It's just us being nitpicky right now.
Can I say something about the commentary? The more I listen to the commentary, right, the more I actually really enjoy Vic Joseph's voice.
He's very good, yes.
Vic Joseph, right, I think, right, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the way he's doing his commentary, right, he's taking a lot of inspiration from New Japan.
Really?
Really, Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is the main guy in New Japan's voice, right?
Yeah.
So when New Japan, they're calling out moves, right? It's like they're shouting. It's like free trigger, that kind of shit, right? And I don't know whether it came off very obvious in this match especially, but like I felt like all of them were shouting in a very excited, like calling the match in a very dramatic kind of way. I think it's very obvious when Beth Phoenix does it. It's just that I'm not a fan of Beth Phoenix's voice because she really shouts.
Yeah, and she's
really
high pitched.
Shouts, her commentary.
So it gets very jarring after a while.
Yeah, but when Vic Joseph does it, it's like the perfect amount of like very epic kind of like voice, and also like this like it's almost like a UFC commentator calling the card.
I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think he's learned very well from Michael Cole. He sounds, his style, his pacing is exactly, I can guarantee you, I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's training under Michael Cole. I'm sure Michael Cole trains all the commentators.
I'm sure lah. Michael Cole probably will be the head commentators training.
But like his entire style is based off Michael Cole. So to hear you say New Japan, I was like a bit curious because I'm like, if anything, he reminds me of Michael Cole, and that's why he have a stint on Raw for a while.
Yes, the one with Dio Medic.
I mean, what's that? Mace, Nutsack, T-Bar, whatever.
Okay, but here's why Vic Joseph does so well as opposed to like the other Michael Cole disciples like Tom Phillips or like Byron or like all these people, like even Corey Graves, I feel like has taken all the negative examples of Michael Cole. Okay, you know when Michael Cole really worked? Like I think back in the Ruthless Aggression era, right, when it was him and Taz calling all those Kurt Angle matches, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio matches, like Michael Cole, when he was younger, had this passion to his voice. The way he was calling matches, that was very, it felt real, it felt very authentic, and it felt like he was very passionate about the product. I feel like there was this one event that Michael Cole did years ago, very recently, like one of the first NXT UK events, like Blackpool or whatever, where, or is it, I think one of the UK tournament to crown the first UK champion, where he was a guest commentator and he was calling matches, and he felt so much more like freer in calling the matches, and I felt it's because he doesn't have like Vince in his shit. There was like less restrictions, and I think he was a really good play-by-play commentator. Like he was calling wrestling moves, Michael Cole, calling wrestling moves, and he was telling a great story. And I felt like Michael Cole probably is just being very safe. He seems like the guy who's very well prepared. So I think he's just telling all the announcers, okay, this is what Vince McMahon would like. This is what he's not like. So he's being overly protective of them. But the Vic Joseph, if you bring out the Michael Cole comparison, I would say that he has the early Michael Cole mannerisms where he's very passionate, he shouts out the kind of calls. But when he was doing this one call, I think the one where Kyle O'Reilly did the last shot kick to the back of Adam Cole's head, and then he was like, he's coming for me, he's bringing it, the last shot. Like he literally calls out like a MMA guy doing a KO, and that got me really hyped. And that got me, and I love it because when every time he does that, Wade Barrett will just come in with like a very nice like comment and with his low voice.
His low voice.
He's like a great blend,
Yeah, and then after that you have Beth Phoenix sort of screeching in. Oh.
Okay, you know what? Beth Phoenix, she is really a good female announcer. Like I think she would be great in calling female announcing matches, even better than Renee Young, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean Renee Young has talked about it before. She's more of an interviewer. Than
host and like a
commentator. Yeah,
so I actually foresee, as much as people might complain in the future, Beth Phoenix could be the one, calling female wrestling matches in main events in the future in WrestleMania.
Cole needs to do all the adverts, Vince says. Why leh?
I think he's talking about all the things like Raw is brought to you tonight by
the ad libs, live reads or whatever they call it. Yeah,
they do all the pluggings for the match.
Div Royalty says she likes the current NXT commentary team because they don't bully each other. Are you talking about JBL?
But if you listen to JBL's Hall of Fame speech from a few nights ago, he said like, I would like to apologize to absolutely nobody. You snowflakes, cry me a river.
Yeah.
He's annoying, but he's entertaining the annoying.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so the match itself, like we said, fun, a bit long. And I hate saying this, but when they went off the air, it's like Kyle O'Reilly standing there looking in pain.
Yeah.
It didn't feel cool. Like it looked like the end of a mid-card match.
Oh dear God.
You know what I mean? Like when you think back to like the end of previous takeovers where like there's the victor standing there very, like after a hard fought match, like whatever it is, Kyle O'Reilly just looks boring. And we go back to the whole when we started with Jordan Devlin looking boring, right?
I don't know whether you're gonna agree with this, but honestly, I felt like I preferred night 1 more than night 2.
A bit, yeah. Actually, didn't we both go into this thinking, hey, night 2 is gonna be better?
Based on what's on paper, right?
Yeah,
because I thought like the ladder match is gonna deliver.
Yeah.
The Finn Balor and Karen Cross gonna tear the house down. Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole's gonna tear the house down.
Which they did. But what we're saying is when you compare the two now, it's like night 1 seemed like it had more character.
If I were to grade the matches, I felt only night 1 had a genuine A grade match, which is to me the Walter and Ciampa match. Yeah. The one where the NXT universe will probably go NXT, holy shit, this is awesome. Like all these chants will probably go to that match. And Raquel and Io obviously Raquel is not as seasoned as Io, but I think they really launch her into the spotlight. So that would have been a very monumental kind of thing. Yeah. But the thing about night 2 for me is like, okay, the pay-per-view says stand up and deliver, right? Yeah. They did stand up, but they didn't deliver all the way. Like they didn't deliver in the way that it could be. Yeah.
If Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor were on night 1 would have been perfect. Then no need night 2. Right? Yeah, like and here's the thing, Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor for TakeOver 31 was a great match. Everyone said it was a great match. Yeah. And now I'm starting to think it was a great match because of Finn Balor. Yes. Is it shit of me to say that Kyle O'Reilly is just bland?
No, it's not. It's true.
He comes out.
You put someone like Kyle O'Reilly in front of Roman Reigns.
Oh, hello. Yeah, exactly. Like just from a visual, a presentation standpoint. And okay, is Adam Cole letting go? Like he
looks skinnier, man.
He looks skinnier and fatter. Okay. And it's not like he's standing next to Finn Balor or he's standing next to someone who's like much bigger and more impressive looking than him. But when I looked at this match, the both of them, I'm like, it looks like just two random white guys fighting.
It's like Fight Club, but not Brad Pitt, It's like the people in Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club, like a bit 10 years older already. Like,
well, Adam Cole never had the best physique. Like he always had skinny arms.
Yeah.
So like that never really like made me notice anything different about him.
Okay. Do you think that without Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, they are just like very indie looking wrestlers?
Yeah. Bro, first of all, Bobby Fish is never going to come back from this. He's going to be fucking main event fighting Mansoor.
Bro, Bobby Fish is all elite.
Who cares? Fuck, he will be fighting the Acclaim. No, but seriously, Bobby Fish, like before Undisputed Era, after Undisputed Era, like really he does nothing for it. And when he was in Undisputed Era, he was forever injured.
Yeah.
And he's old, he's like in his 40s.
Roderick Strong,
Roderick Strong needs a gimmick change.
Messiah of the Backbreaker doesn't work. And Undisputed Era made him cool, but now there's no more Undisputed Era. Adam Cole can't do his baby, no boom. The timing is all off. He looks like a skinny dude. Shawn Michaels looked way more impressive than Adam Cole. Like we try to compare the two all the time, right?
Yeah, but Shawn Michaels was technically small for his era. So like even though he looked jacked, right? Yeah. But he's like against Vader.
But of course, he needs to look Adam something. Cole looks even smaller than
Shawn Michaels.
Right? Irvin brings up a very good point. Is Britt Baker bigger than Adam Cole? Yes. Yes, she is.
Okay, I got another question. Who had the better unsanctioned match? Adam Cole or Britt Baker?
I think just from a visual standpoint, it might have been Britt Baker. Just from a visual standpoint. Because there was the blood, it was more... like I said, I think AEW has spoiled us for hardcore matches.
Yeah. I felt, and this is weird for me to say, but I think Britt Baker, her performance in that match made her a star.
Yeah.
This match didn't make Kyle O'Reilly a star.
Nope.
Like it kind of solidified Adam Cole as like the best chance of surviving outside of Undisputed Era. Yeah. If nothing else, it is like a sad ending of Undisputed Era, this match. So it felt like after this match is going to end, they are probably not going to interact anymore. I think Kyle O'Reilly kind of definitively beat Adam Cole.
I think Adam Cole's going to take a break. It seems like, like the whole, they had to stretcher him out and everything.
I think, and I believe this is definitely reliant on them having a draft. Adam Cole is going to be drafted out. A lot of the matches, right, bro, makes it seem like it's like the swan song for the wrestlers.
Io Shirai.
So, for me, Io Shirai, Finn Balor, and maybe Adam Cole. I feel like Kyle O'Reilly might be the top. I know this is weird to say, but the top baby face moving forward.
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely, he looks so boring.
Yeah, he is.
He literally looks boring as F.
He has a fan base though. Like
he does. But
all the.
Like, it's still, even though this is NXT, they're still selling merch. They're still trying to get eyeballs. Yeah. He is not going to freaking sell out a main event of an NXT TakeOver. Just no. Karrion Kross, yeah, maybe. TB, to be determined. But when you put the two next to each other, it's like, okay, Karrion Kross stands out.
Kyle O'Reilly, right? Okay, one thing I like about the match presentation for the main event was that they had the walkout before the match itself, like backstage.
Oh yeah,
they used to do that all the time in the SD era. Like they will start walking out and they had
and they walked out with security because they had to be controlled. This doesn't work for me. Like walking out with a Goldberg, that works for me because you see, it's like you have to restrain these two crazy killers.
I get what you mean, but if nothing else, I think that was a very UFC presentation.
Yeah.
They look like a very good light heavyweight, like right before the main event bout. Like if you put a UFC card, right, this is probably the match you put on right before like a John Jones match or like a Steven Miocic match. So like it's a good presentation, but it further highlights the fact that they are mid card,
Which is sad. Irvin says he respects Kyle. He's working with diabetes. I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. So one thing about Kyle O'Reilly is he has diabetes. He also, because of his BJJ background, that's the thing that a lot of people respect him for. Because I think he introduced a lot of BJJ moves into wrestling. It's like a lot of my Grapple Max friends. They keep saying like, they love whatever Kyle O'Reilly does. But you know what makes Kyle O'Reilly interesting to me and entertaining to me? What? It's not his fighting background. It's not his look, nothing, It's the fact that he was such a carefree character in Undisputed Era where he was playing with the tag team titles, like the guitar. Yeah. He's like this goofy, arrogant guy. That was the thing that made him cool.
Do you think that that's what he should be? Because maybe he's just not a very, we go back to the whole intensity thing, right? And now they are trying to make him this serious, like, oh, you've hurt me and blah blah blah. Maybe that's just not his thing. It's not his strong point, being intense. It doesn't work for him. Because he just looks constipated half the time. In this
who is the most, honestly, legitimately, who is the most marketable guy out of Undisputed Era?
Walao. And I think previously I would have said Adam Cole. Maybe Adam Cole just from his mic skills, but definitely not from a visual standpoint. Because I think Bobby Fish might be the most Jack looking of the lot.
Yeah, okay.
And he has a unique look, but then he's always injured and he's never around. So throw that out of the window.
My guy, I'm always rooting for him. Even last time was Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong has the makings of he would. Okay, you know what made me a super big fan of Roderick Strong? Like I thought, I'm sold on this guy.
What?
In 2019, the Survivor Series, they had a triple threat tri-branded match for the mid-card titles.
Oh yeah.
So remember? So it was like AJ Styles was the US champ, Shinsuke Nakamura was the IC champ, and then but Roderick Strong was the North American champ.
But look at who's in there with him.
Yes. Yes, the quality of caliber of opponents was really, really good. But in spite of that, the reason why Roderick Strong shined so well in that match, in my opinion, is that he looked like a star. When I say look like a star, he's the most handsome, in my opinion, objectively, out of the four, conventionally handsome guy, out of the four Undisputed Era people. He feels like a very all-American kind of look.
But the problem is, once you put him on the mic, that all goes down the toilet. That's why Adam Cole is the leader, and he will, if any of them moves to the main event, or rather not main event, Raw or SmackDown roster, it has to be Adam Cole, and Adam Cole will be relegated to a Drake Maverick type role. I'm pretty sure.
Not even a mid card.
Or maybe he could be a manager for someone bigger. I don't know. Have that AJ Omas, Shawn Michaels, Diesel
Oh
sort of
my god.
pairing.
Okay, the best guy for someone who's a small size of stature but have done really, really well, the main event is AJ Styles.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is a short guy.
Yeah, but Cole is even shorter than AJ Styles.
You see?
I think so. Anyway, maybe it's just...
AJ is really short, AJ is like my height. It's like 173.
is it? Yeah, but AJ also looks built. Cole looks like a skinny guy.
That's true.
Anyway, okay. We need to get to our WrestleMania preview because we are 2 hours in. We're still talking about NXT.
We can talk about five minutes of Adam Cole's physique, please.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like it was a good 2 days of shows. NXT always delivers. We're just nitpicking lah.
Do you think that it's gonna definitely do better than WrestleMania? With now that it's in the bag?
Actually, I don't know. WrestleMania definitely has more character. Like when you look at the cards, like you see these colorful characters, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't have to worry about a bunch of bland bullshit like Jordan Devlin or Kyle O'Reilly looking like just the average Joe. And maybe that's the appeal of them, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah lah, bro. NXT is like we all admit, like it's for the wrestling fans. It's for the people who love work rate, watching wrestling matches. WrestleMania is the pomp and circumstance.
Yes, but I'm with the work rate as well.
Okay, I've always been a WrestleMania guy. Like even when I know NXT always perform better, but when I watch NXT before like a big SummerSlam or like WrestleMania, that kind of thing, I will only remember like 1 or 2 matches from NXT. But WrestleMania and all these big 4 pay-per-views is the one that I will like sit up, wake up early. I can't wait to watch.
Can I? Okay, is it fair for me to say, and this will be the last thing we talk about on NXT, but is it fair for me to say that this generation of NXT main event tours, it doesn't like quite stand up yet to like, remember the era of Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, Andrade. They're all having amazing matches. Like this current crop is like, other than Finn Balor.
Okay,
back
but
in the day.
I agree, but you have to understand when Ciampa and Gargano started main eventing at first, I also thought like they really main event, man. I don't think they're main event material because they were just fresh out of DIY and they're considered quite small size and very skinny. But they won us over, I think, because of their very brutal matches.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, at the top of the card, when it wasn't them, Adam Cole was having like a badass run with the title. The last NXT champion that didn't look like a indie work rate midget.
Walao! Indie work rate midget. Oh, you just offended every IWC fella out there.
Yeah, but I have to be honest, right? The last guy who didn't like that was Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
So
and yes, you need the crowds, Irvin. I agree.
Yeah, so after Drew McIntyre like left, and then it was Almas onwards, it felt like okay, now this is like a small size.
Yeah. Like you had your Drews, you had your Samoa Joes as well.
Yes. Even at that point in time, Finn Balor was fighting against them. Finn Balor like the underdog against the Samoa Joe. Yeah. Against somebody like Shinsuke Nakamura also looked. He is big, Yeah. Very deceptively tall.
Ooh, Shinsuke, yeah.
Yeah. So but do you see? I think was it today where they showed like on the stage like the new NXT signing, the amateur wrestler kid.
Oh yeah. I think I missed it. Was it on the pre-show or was it like a segment that I might?
It was like in between segments. So he was like backstage. They gave him some like that. Like usually in every takeover they will introduce some new talent signing. Yeah. So I think there was like Stephanie McMahon clapping for him and all that kind of stuff. So this guy, he looks like a horse.
Okay, good.
I'm very, very, even though the current main event looks like not that impressive, but I'm very, very hopeful for the future because now they got Rick Steiner's kid. Right. They got the Parker Boudreaux that look like fucking Brock Lesnar.
And then didn't they debut on night 1 this Japanese wrestler as well? A female Japanese wrestler. I forgot her name. Really.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I might have missed that.
So the next Io Shirai. So now Io Shirai.
They're gonna have like one token Chinese or like Japanese wrestler at least.
But they've been promoting this female wrestler as well. I forgot her name already, but she has a dog.
The French one?
Yeah, is it French?
Can't remember. I can't remember. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. But that's another new signing that's debuting on Tuesday night, apparently. So, that guy is not signed. He just won a tournament of Vince's. That wrestler guy.
NCAA.
NCAA. Yeah, so he just won a tournament. So they're probably trying to woo him, like how they tried to woo Kurt Angle last time.
This guy, the record very interesting. Not only he's out of Minnesota.
Yeah. Ooh.
He went through Brock Lesnar's school, University of Minnesota, NCAA champion. I think now he's gonna represent US in the Olympics. So he is like literally he got Brock Lesnar's track record, even though he doesn't look like Brock Lesnar, but everything else is like legit.
By the way, the female wrestler that they debuted at night one was Sari,
the Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, Japanese wrestler. She's
I'm not too familiar with the name.
She's very young. She's like 25. Wow.
Yeah, dope.
Frankie Monet, by the way. Frankie Monet. Frankie Monet is the chick with the dog.
Frankie Monet.
Yeah.
So it sounds French, lah.
Not really, but okay. Taya Valkyrie is her previous name. Let me just do it very quickly.
Oh, Taya Valkyrie. That is John Morrison's wife.
Oh.
Okay, she should just kept her name, sia. Taya Valkyrie is such a badass name, sia.
Okay.
Taya Valkyrie, yeah, she was performing in Lucha Underground and like all the Mexican
why is a dog her gimmick?
She is bad. She got Luna Vachon vibes, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's badass. Yeah, I'm looking at her picture right now. She is buff.
She was the Impact champion before the Impact Knockout champion before the Tessa Blanchard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's move on then to the preview of WrestleMania.
Yes, let's do that.
I don't know how we're going to get through this because we're already 2 hours in. So thanks for hanging out.
Quick one.
Yeah, that's what we always say. Thanks for hanging out on the chat, by the way. Okay, night one on Sunday. Oh, by the way, WrestleMania, we are going to come on and do a special show, a review show, live after WrestleMania on Monday afternoon. So right after WrestleMania, night two, right after WrestleMania finishes. Do you think it'll finish before 12?
I think it will because it starts at 7 or 8. Okay, 8.
I think it's 8. So anyway, we'll start at 12. If it goes over 12, then we'll start whenever the hell it finishes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Also, if there's time, and I think the Broken Skull sessions will actually debut before WrestleMania. That means it will come out live before that.
On the 11th, which is the one with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, bro.
What? Breaking the doors down. Okay, so let's get to WrestleMania then.
Yes.
Night one, Lana and Naomi versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad versus Tamina and Natalia. Winners get a women's tag team championship match on night two. Okay, nobody cares. Move on. No, really, does anybody give a shit who wins this?
Let's just take a step. Who do you think will win this?
I don't know. It feels like they need to every year they'll give Tamina and Natalia a mini you deserve this. So I feel like I'm going to go with Natalia and Tamia.
You know what? I actually agree with you because this is based on their Talking Smack segment that they had last week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So Paul Heyman gave them some sort of pep talk.
Oh.
Like, remember who the fuck you are. Then I'm like, okay, fine.
This is literally their once a year push. Every year they have this, but they're not going to win. They're just going to be there. So
you know what? I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and not only are they gonna win the night one, they might actually win the title off of the Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Okay actually, if you think about it, that could cause Shayna and Jax to break up because of Reginald. There's that whole thing.
Yeah.
And Shayna keeps rolling her eyes, so it's maybe they're gonna fight. And Mandy. Seriously, you went from one tag team on SmackDown with Sonya Deville, which was a pretty badass tag team. I like Fire and Desire. You have that whole breakup, great. Comes over to Raw. I mean, she has a thing with Otis, comes over to Raw, and then
completely buried
in another. Yeah, in a tag team with Dana Brooke, the Muscle Sisters, or whatever the hell they're called.
And Otis is now a heel, which is such a total slap in the face to the Otis storyline.
Money in the Bank, bro.
Fuck, man.
He's not this year's Money in the Bank. If you think about it, right? Otis won, shock win. He did nothing with it. He lost it to Miz, who then cashed in to win his title for 1 day. 1 week. So it's wow, this entire Money in the Bank arc for this year has been just trash.
It's literal trash.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay lah. Okay. Whatever. Div Royalty says, please give it to Lana and Naomi. Another two who are like, okay lah, maybe it's give them for the sake of giving them.
Yeah, like, but we do agree that Naomi deserves a gimmick change at this point in time.
Yeah, this whole glow thing doesn't work anymore. The glow was so like 5 years ago. So anyway, let's move on. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, low key could steal the night. Steal the show.
Cesaro needs to win. That's as great as Seth Rollins' drip has been. He doesn't need the victory, man. He needs to be bringing up Cesaro to his level. Yeah. Main event.
If anything, I hope that Cesaro beats Seth and Seth comes back with a different gimmick. I don't know, but ever since the whole Mysterio thing got completely dropped and buried, he's sort of been like, it's kind of that gimmick, but not really.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in my opinion, Seth Rollins can bounce back from anything. He has proven that he can. So I'm not worried about him. Cesaro, I'm worried about. If Cesaro loses, right, there is no situation in this scenario that he comes out looking good if he loses.
Yeah. But then Cesaro, we all know, has been like relegated to that level of he's there, he can put on a good match, he will always be able to put on a good match to elevate people. So, I don't see WWE looking at Cesaro thinking future world champion. He's just there to, he's going to be perpetually in that mid-card.
Put it this way, bro. I for the longest time thought Drew McIntyre was going to be dead. I for the longest time already accepted that Bobby Lashley is going to be dead, especially after the Lana thing. So I believe Cesaro, with his talent, I think eventually they're gonna see his talent for what he is, and I think this might be the year. Like, I honestly think that this might be the year.
It's not even seeing his talent. Like, I think everybody sees his talent in terms of an in-ring worker. It's just that, like, marketability, like, can he be champion? Even if he's champion, he'll probably be a champion for a cup of tea.
Yeah, but it's okay. I think he deserves at least the accolade of I was a champion, at least one.
And also Switzerland is not that big a market, so
bro, the only market in Switzerland is all the yodelers, the sheep.
What the hell, bro? we need to go and visit Switzerland so that we learn more about the culture. But
educate
I think we both agree that Cesaro should win here. To be fair, this whole feud came about because of swings.
Yes, that's true.
If you think about it, the build has been like, really?
Bro, I mean, in comparison to every single build in this year's WrestleMania, I mean, it's not so bad. Like, this WrestleMania, in my recent memory, is like the worst built WrestleMania ever. So I am not opposed to him having a rivalry based on a swing when somebody else had a rivalry based on being called stupid.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because that's the next one we'll talk about. Steel cage match. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Okay, we beat this into the ground. Shane just keeps calling him stupid.
Can I tell you something that will make me actually very intrigued about this match?
What?
There is some history, there's some precedence to this. This is the first steel cage match since WrestleMania 2. In this very weird statistic that I was, when I realized it, I was like, really? That bad? Like, there's never been a steel cage match in WrestleMania before this other than one time in WrestleMania 2 between Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy.
How far we've fallen. But okay.
So, here's the thing that will make me nostalgic watching this match.
What?
If they introduce the old school blue steel cage.
Oh, but they won't. They won't.
Yeah, I know. But like, I feel like that will pop the old school crowd and make you at least feel like, okay, I might enjoy this shit.
There is literally no reason for them to do it. You know what I mean? This match has not been marketed as any sort of a throwback match. They haven't tried.
They have never even given a reason why it's a steel cage match, other than the fact that he can't run away.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is Jackson Riker and Elias are going to be outside. They'll try to do shenanigans. Braun Strowman will kill Shane McMahon. Shane will jump off shit, and Braun should win lah. Like, there you go.
This also is another situation where there's no way he goes out of this match looking good if he were to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, Elvin brings up a very good point. Stadium very hard to build cage. So because if you think about it, right, indoor stadium you lower the cage. If it's an open air stadium, how the hell are you gonna lower a cage? You know what I mean?
Well, if you guys remember all the WrestleMania, they always have this huge ass structure above the ring.
They can still lower, like, haven't they done Hell in a Cell at a WrestleMania?
They did the end of an era. They hit the Hell in a Cell literally inside that weird ass ring thing on top.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Yeah. It's just whether they want to.
The fact that they done it on a Hell in a Cell, which is a bigger structure. I mean, cage is not an issue.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they can just build it on the like the old blue cage. They instead of hanging it up, they can just build it.
Yeah, literally, they can just like plop like Lego like that.
Yeah, like Lego. Very good. Okay, like I'm not excited to see this match at all.
Yep.
If anything, it's just a spot fest for Shane. Move on. Another match that's like New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos.
Well, it has been proven true. They have already put it on record that actually AJ Styles did ask for a match with Triple H this year.
That's right.
He did pester Triple H for a match, and Triple H said that he didn't agree to it because he doesn't feel that he's ready lah, which is good for Triple H. But it sucks for us because we don't really have a so-called dream marquee match, right?
Yep.
Well, AJ Styles, for sure, it has to be his decision to put himself in this match to put over Omos.
Yeah, and well, if anything, do you think that it's time for them to just lose their titles? Because the New Day, like you said,
doesn't do anything for you, right?
Tired act. To me, they are a very tired act, and they're starting to grate on me already.
Well, I've always liked the Omos and AJ Styles dynamic. They really like the Shawn and Diesel kind of vibe. But I do not know how well Omos will perform. There's no inkling that show that he's gonna be a great big man wrestler though.
Yeah,
what if he's Great Khali?
Bro, what if he's a giant Gonzalez?
Yeah. There has like unless he suddenly, even like Shaquille O'Neal actually kind of surprised me. He actually could perform quite well, in that match he had with Cody. Unless he has that kind of surprising athleticism, I'm going to be very disappointed in this match.
We all know AJ is just going to carry the shit out of this match. Kofi, Xavier Woods, and then Omos will come in with the big power moves. I'm actually interested to see what Omos will wear.
Yes. Is he going to look like a Mark Henry? Is he going to have like...
What kind of ring gear will he have, or will he just wear all black? So anyway, if anything, it'll be interesting to see that. And beyond that, though, I'm thinking AJ and Omos have to win so that they can move on to do their whole feud when they finally break up.
Yeah, and I think they might have a very dominant run with the titles going forward.
Wow. Dominant over a tag team division that doesn't exist.
Well, just wait for the Viking Raiders to come back, lah.
Oh, good lord. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, they finally made this a tag team match. It seems like to me, what they were doing here is they were waiting to see if John Morrison was healthy to go. That's why. Do you think correct. That is it? Like, they had to announce Miz versus Bad Bunny already, like just to create the hype, right? But then they're like, oh, can John do it? Can John not do it? But I guess last minute they're like, all right, he's clear. So we got Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Thank goodness, because Damian Priest needs to get the rub from this whole thing versus Miz and Morrison.
I'm actually very happy with how Damian Priest has been booked since he came to Raw.
Really?
When I'm happy, not saying the matches that he's been booked in, but the spot that he's been booked with. Say what you gotta say about Bad Bunny, but him being on Raw creates a lot of eyeballs.
Yep.
And the one that's benefiting is Damian Priest. Damian Priest is his like buddy, right?
Yeah, he's getting the rub lah. So the whole what's that $3 million Bugatti getting painted?
Bro, that was the worst painting ever, man. Like, that's like the worst vandalism ever in my life. Like, it wasn't even that bad. They literally just painted tomato sauce on the guy's hood.
Okay, when I looked at the paint, right, and I'm by no means an expert at paint.
Yeah,
I looked at the paint. I'm like, this is water soluble. It looks easy to dissolve.
To wash off. Bro, I think WWE want to save money.
Yeah, of course they're not going to waste $3 million and Bad Bunny is not going to give them their car to vandalize for real. So they're like, okay, let's put on a paint that can wash off very easily. Doesn't it look like something that's super easy to wash off?
Literally, I can do a car wash and the thing will be clean up.
Yeah, so I'm like, I see where they're going. I'm like, okay, fine. I close one eye because it is a $3 million car.
What do you think of Bad Bunny's promo?
Oh, it was terrible. I don't know why he had to switch it to English. His English not that good. It was actually very rough to get through. When he was speaking in Puerto Rican, right? He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It sounded better because you can hear the passion because he's now fluid and he can just, talk. Whereas when he tried to do it in English, it was like, oh no.
He was stumbling through. But, I think they just needed it for the package. Like a whip, your ass. they had to hit that line somehow. So
Yeah.
I guess I get what you mean. But it's just sucks that there is no like concerts and stuff. You know what would have been really cool in the build up?
Oh, he does a concert lah.
Imagine he was like on tour, he had a concert, and then he like invited Damien Priest on stage.
Yeah.
And then they shoot a segment where like they're chilling backstage in the like in the VIP area in the club or what. And then they kena ambushed by Morrison and Miz. I mean they would have been so creative, there would have been so many storylines that could have been done.
Damien Priest in a hot tub with Bad Bunny.
I mean, not just the two of them alone, hopefully.
Remember, you know what I'm referring to, right? Damien Priest and
the Triple H.
Random hot tub at the back of the NXT Performance Center.
Yeah. That's quite funny.
Was that the North American title? Like, I won the North American title and he's in a fucking car park with a hot tub.
And just so happened to have like glamour models waiting for him at the car park.
Like, what? Why is there a hot tub in the car park? And why are they glamour models? Like, wow, that was so bad.
I don't know.
But yeah, it would have been cool to have had all that. But I think COVID stuff also.
Definitely. But I'm just happy that Damien Priest has a WrestleMania match. Hey, he has a WrestleMania match before Keith Lee. And Keith Lee came before that.
Yeah, and like Damien Priest is much older than Keith Lee, right?
Yes.
So, but good for him, lah. Good for him. So obviously this is not going to be like a wrestling classic.
That's true.
It's your attraction match, your celebrity match. So
do you think Bad Bunny will surprise some people?
Pull off Pat McAfee? No, I don't think so. But I think he'll do better than Snoop Dogg.
Yes, definitely. I'm curious. I mean, if Bad Bunny does well, it opens a lot of eyes for both him and WWE. So I want him to succeed.
Irvin says they should have beat up Bad Bunny at the Grammys. Well, that would have been dope, but cannot lah. Then it would have to have had WWE working with the Grammys, and not gonna have that kind of shit on their show.
Yeah, that's true. WWE is not that mainstream.
Okay, so now we are up to our two quote unquote main event matches. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair is not going to be the last match. It's not going to be a main event.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you.
You think they're going to be main event?
Listen up to my logic.
Okay.
I think the first match that should come out from WrestleMania, the first thing that the crowd would hear is Drew McIntyre's theme song.
Are you serious?
They need something that will pop the crowd. Like, oh my God, I'm happy to have wrestling back. And I don't see the first match coming out will be Sasha Banks' entrance. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be it has to be a fan favorite. It has to be a match that straight away get you hyped.
Cesaro, Seth Rollins?
I don't think it did. You have to understand, it's not because it's just a typical WrestleMania. This is like the first WrestleMania with a crowd since the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like if they could have had like The Rock come out, they would probably have had The Rock come out.
What? Bro, you know who? Actually, Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil, they are hosting which night?
Well, I have a feeling they are splitting the duties.
Okay.
So, well, another possibility, like I think what you're trying to bring about is that what if it's Hulk Hogan's entrance?
Yeah,
playing?
exactly. Like literally, the first thing WrestleMania starts. Dun, dun. Oh, actually, and you know who is singing the America the Beautiful?
This year?
It's BB Rexha.
BB Rexha.
Yeah.
Damn.
Probably night 2. I don't know if she's doing both nights. So it really like you see, like we're talking about, like it depends on who's on what night.
That's true. You know what? BB Rexha and Alexa Bliss, I would like to be in between both of them.
Okay, anyway. So, okay, you're thinking that Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, main event of night 1.
I have a feeling Drew McIntyre will start off the match and it will be against Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Okay, wow, that is actually... It makes sense. I see where you're going with the logic, but I'm like, but that's kind of the main event, the end of the night.
I know, it's so weird, but I feel like because of the very unique circumstances, the first match will actually...
Oh, we have a spot of lag. So let's read what Div Royalty says. Div Royalty says, didn't Sasha Banks mention they were the main event, or they were main eventing WrestleMania? Wow, they have a title match, and that's what they usually call main eventing WrestleMania lah. There are multiple main events of WrestleMania.
But last match on the card, I mean... And also, this goes with my prediction. I think Drew McIntyre is not going to win the title.
Right.
I think Bobby Lashley is going to keep the title.
Okay. Well, okay, then let's talk about Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre, right?
Yep.
You think that Bobby Lashley holds on, and I actually agree with you. I want to see Bobby Lashley run with the title a little bit longer, make the Hurt Business, like maybe expand it, get freaking Naomi, and the whole idea of they kicked out Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander and them like making their shock swerve return.
There is the theory that I want to happen. I think it will be a great swerve because everybody and their mother doesn't want Hurt Business to break up.
Yeah.
Like literally on the internet, everyone is pissed off that happened.
Yeah.
There's reports that the wrestlers themselves are not happy that they have to break up. So what if WWE is swerving us? I will be a very happy surprise.
And they do it right at the start of the show.
Yeah, and then like that is something that people will be even though there's people will be like, oh man, Drew McIntyre didn't get his moment, but then they will be excited because like, oh, Bobby Lashley retained and the Hurt Business are back.
Right. Okay. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess we just covered Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre already.
Indeed, we did.
That was quick. Okay, then the main event then, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Okay, this is, to me, a tough one because the heat hasn't really been there. It's not like there's more heat between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, right?
Definitely. If they had done it right, this could have been Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels in terms of build-up. Like two baby faces, both of them got training montage videos, trying to prove who they're the best.
But I feel like Bianca Belair, even though, yes, she won the Royal Rumble, right? But she hasn't sort of had that dominant run. Like, you talk about Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. They were both very established already. They're both established main eventers. Whereas, yes, Sasha Banks is an established main eventer, but Bianca Belair is not.
That's true. I think that's why they should have done a better job building up Bianca Belair. Like, we need to know her history, her motivation. Should have interviewed her while she's walking around at her hometown. Something that made you want to root for her as this good girl. I mean, other than the fact that we know her history based on like her documentary 24 and all that kind of stuff. I wish they use more of the content that they already have and put it as part of the promo packages.
Yeah, this build has been very strange, and to make this the main event of night one, to me is a bit of a head scratcher lah.
But okay, if I were to argue on behalf of this being the main event, Bianca Belair is a Royal Rumble winner, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to really go and follow the Royal Rumble rules, imagine both nights are main evented by the Royal Rumble winners matches. Right. So they can use that as a logic. Okay. And if Bianca Belair wins, they're gonna have that, happy ending fireworks for night one, and I think it will still be okay. And it has been shown that more or less Sasha Banks is playing the heel. She's a de facto heel in this scenario. She's like the arrogant, established top woman. And Bianca Belair, and I believe she will deliver her performance in the ring.
Too fast though? Too soon?
Possible argument is too fast and too soon, but there's no one else better right now to challenge her on SmackDown. Tell me someone else better that can challenge Sasha Banks on SmackDown. Yeah,
Bayley has been done to death. Bayley Banks done to
Even
death.
though it sucks that she's not on the show for now. We do not know whether she might have a backstage segment. I don't know, but there's no one else credible on SmackDown to challenge Sasha Banks. So might as well pull the trigger on Bianca Belair.
Right, and give her the big spot. Anyway, it's just night one, it's not night two, right?
That's true.
Okay, then let's move on to night two on Monday morning Singapore time, by the way.
Yes.
A few funny suggestions. Toverkin says Isaiah Swerve Scott joins the Hurt Business, then you have a real swerve. Elvin suggests Alistair Black for the Hurt Business. Yes, I agree. Don't know what the hell that fella is doing.
For me, it's Naomi.
Yes,
have a girl.
Naomi. Okay, night two then, here we go. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the winner of the tag team turmoil. Nobody cares. Okay, we kind of touched on this.
Yes, we did.
This could be the way that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler breaks up and Reginald goes to 205 Live.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Definitely. And fight Mansoor.
There you go, main event. Riddle versus Shamus for the US title. Okay.
I think Riddle will retain.
Yep, pretty much.
I think he will retain, Even though I feel bad because Shamus has had a great year in terms of the ring. He was giving kick-ass matches on Raw, man. He was the reason I was watching it on Raw recently.
Wow, but
So-
Riddle needs the win. He needs to be established. Like Sheamus is established. He's a former
Yes.
world champion. You know.
If nothing else, him beating Sheamus will put him on a higher pedestal for sure.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Higher pedestal.
And then after that, he go backstage, he's celebrating, and then Rob Banner will be like, "Hey, bro, I felt high just watching you perform just now."
Oh no, stop it. You got really high when you jumped off the top rope. All
my
those high
God.
jokes, yeah.
Wait,
it should-
one more thing, bro. One more thing. Have you seen his graphics recently when he go into the ring?
Oh yeah, the birds. Like what the hell?
That is such a trippy thing. It's
yeah.
really like this guy, like, you know what? He's high, right? Let's just give him some weird ass psychedelic effects.
That's the whole point, I think. They're just trying to like say it without saying it. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Riddle retains, definitely. Sheamus doesn't need the title at all. So there you go. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, Logan Paul.
With Logan Paul.
Logan, I feel like Logan Paul is just going to turn on Sami Zayn and help Kevin Owens.
Logan Paul is the de facto, just giving a celebrity shine to this whole thing. Even though he's quite unnecessary.
Yeah.
I felt like a very last minute addition. It's like almost WWE was trying to allow, hey, maybe you can get Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And then Logan Paul, oh my God, I don't mind being on WWE.
Yeah. You know what it
They
is, right? Because they like we say, they love their celebrity plugs, right?
Yeah.
Night 1 got Bad Bunny, Night 2 don't have any celebrity. So okay
they
lah.
Okay lah, that's true. Well, and another thing, I think Logan Paul, even though he's unnecessary, but he does add to the conspiracy storyline because, you know, Logan Paul is big on conspiracies and that's his whole shtick, right? So I would think that would play a part in the ending of the match, like you said. Like he might either turn on Sami Zayn or he might actually become a heel and pair together with Sami Zayn and screw Kevin Owens over. But the pure wrestling fan in me, right, wish that there's none of these shenanigans and it's just a straight up badass one-on-one match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They have so much history, bro.
Yeah, and they definitely know how to put on a good match. Logan Paul, if anything, just going off of what you said, he has a huge following, but he's also quite hated by a lot of people. He would make for a perfect heel.
Yeah, he should be a heel, man.
Yeah. Not
but
much.
I can appreciate him being here because he is mainstream, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him.
Yeah. Not much else to talk about this match, so let's move on then. Okay, Big E versus Apollo Crews in the Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental Championship.
You have been asking me, how is this match gonna go? I know exactly how it's gonna go already.
Oh.
It's basically, right, you know, when they want to challenge to be the warrior king
of Wakanda. Yeah, so they fight on the at the waterfall.
Yeah, they fight on the waterfall, and then they have all these tribal people beating their drums at ringside.
I hope they don't do that. That is a bit like much, you know.
Bro,
from the commentary, what I gather is this is just going to be an unsanctioned sort of a hardcore, no holds barred match. Because the whole idea when Apollo Crews first brought it up, it was like back in the day we would beat our opponent so hard like we were beating drums. So that's why it's called a Nigerian drum fight.
Holy shit. I mean, they definitely gonna have drums around lah. Fuck. They will definitely have drums.
You think so?
But you know why? You know why I had that musical thing as like a stipulation? It's like capoeira.
Oh, right. Yeah. When
Don't they do that? They fight through music.
Yes.
That might be cool. I think it might be cool. They light fire around the ring. They darken the thing, make it look very tribal.
Okay, Apollo Crews or Big E, IC champ.
Unfortunately, it has to be Apollo Crews.
Yeah, it has to be. he needs his big win because, you know, unfortunate for Big E because, you know, he is a deserving champion. He doesn't have his moment yet. But Apollo Crews has this momentum for him going right now, and it would make no sense for him to lose here.
I think Big E is okay for him to lose the title because he's going to be in the main event going forward.
So he moves on to face off against whoever lah.
Roman Reigns or whoever.
No.
I don't know.
Big E is on SmackDown.
No, we'll discuss the main event.
Yeah. The Apollo will now have the power of the Black Panther stripped away. Remember that scene? Okay.
Yes, indeed.
The Fiend with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton. Okay. This is the interesting one. Is this going to be part match, part cinematic stuff, or is it going to be full match? How is this going to play out? Because there is a live crowd now, so there is no Thunderdome shenanigans.
I think it's gonna be half, man. It's gonna be some sort of backstage segment.
Yeah.
It's gonna. I mean, they never really mentioned that it's gonna be a unsanctioned match, whether it's a straight up one-on-one, or is there gonna be no disqualification? They never really said it properly. But I think there's gonna be Alexa Bliss getting involved. There's gonna be some shit happening backstage, or it's pre-recorded, and they're gonna work their way back to the stage.
Yeah.
I almost imagine that it's like a. Remember Undertaker and Mankind Boiler Room Brawl?
Yes. Or
maybe they start off backstage like that.
Or Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, House of Horrors. Same thing. They started off at the House of Horrors and then they worked their way into the ring.
You were scared that it's gonna be bad if that's the case, right?
Only because they had that shit show the last time. But if they work their shit out and do this properly, it might be an interesting match.
A very interesting piece of news that I saw is that they released like a toy collectible or like a poster of the Fiend with the current iteration, like the burnt Chowta face Fiend.
Chowta Fiend, yeah.
And he's wearing like a rag over his face, almost like Taz or like early Kane when he got unmasked.
Yeah.
So I do not know, is that going to be a presentation of him going forward?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, obviously Finn has to win lah.
Yeah. I mean,
in no scenario that Randy Orton wins, that it makes sense, because Finn literally came back from 4-month hiatus just to lose.
Yeah, and then he got burned, and like no, Finn needs to win decisively. Randy Orton can go and take a break after this.
Yeah, but I would love to see Alexa Bliss riding Randy one more time.
Oh, stop it, bro! Stop it. Hey, actually, aren't the rumors like Alexa Bliss needs to what was it? I read rumors. Dirt sheets are saying that they are thinking about putting Alexa Bliss in some sort of a mask.
Ooh, like some sort of like Halloween-ish mask?
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
So I wonder if Randy Orton's going to set Alexa Bliss on fire.
Burn her face.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's quite creepy, man.
Actually, and that would be like very controversial.
Yeah. Because it's like female abuse, yeah.
Yeah. Like arson or what? Like whoa. Like him killing the Fiend already is like
it's
one thing, but Alexa Bliss.
Oh, that would make Randy hated, man.
Yeah.
They all will complain like, no, I cannot see Alexa Bliss's face. So sad.
I don't know. This is pure speculation.
You don't know in WWE, you know what is gonna happen?
What?
The face all chowta and chat out, right? But the body is still completely smooth and still looks good.
Perfect, like, yeah, of course. And then she will heal within a week because, you know, she got magical powers.
She used Jean Vera moisturizer, bro, like Randy Orton.
Jean Vera, oh my god.
Aloe Vera.
I haven't even heard that. I haven't heard that brand in forever. Yeah, Jean Vera. Okay, Fiend wins. Definitely, like, indeed. Both of us can agree with that, huh? Okay, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley.
Asuka versus Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley law. Has to be
Rhea Ripley law. Then, bro, Rhea Ripley on Raw, Bianca Belair on SmackDown. Ooh. I mean, it's a new generation, bro.
Yeah, it is. Irvin says Finn bites off Alexa Bliss's face. Why?
For what? Are they getting down and dirty or some shit?
This is some kinky weird shit. Hey, The Shadow, Lavin, how you doing, man? It's good to see you in the chat.
Bro, we are 2.5 hours in, bro.
Yeah, finally previewing WrestleMania. So, okay, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wins. Asuka is done holding the championship for a while. She can do other stuff. It makes sense, right?
I think Asuka is gonna take a break after this.
Yeah, and if anybody deserves a break, it's Asuka. She's been holding up the women's division in a good way.
Yeah,
for the entire COVID era. Actually, in terms of the women's performance, she's been a rock.
That's true. And also I feel like Rhea Ripley deserves her moment after last year. I think if the whole point of last year was for her to defend the NXT title against Charlotte and still, even if she were to lose or what, but still have like a defining performance on the big stage in front of an audience. So like they didn't have a chance to like really showcase her last year. So I think this is the year that they're gonna do a redo lah.
Oh, maybe Asuka after she loses goes back to NXT in the draft.
Everything else goes back to NXT.
No, I cannot.
I don't know, man. But
cannot.
Yeah.
If anything, she'll be drafted to SmackDown and she'll have a whole, new set of people to play with. Okay. Main event then. And this one, no doubt, nobody can argue will be the main event of night 2, right? Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. It looks more and more like Roman Reigns is not going to retain. Even though we want Roman Reigns to retain, it looks more and more like it's not going to happen.
Okay, we can agree one thing. If Roman Reigns is going to lose, I don't think he's going to be the one that is pinned.
Yeah. So
That's
like,
for sure.
is that why Daniel Bryan is going to be? Are you okay or not, bro?
Bless me. Okay.
Yeah, bless you, sir. Is this why Daniel Bryan is here for Edge to pin him, or is Daniel Bryan going to pin Edge?
I believe it's either or. I believe it's either or.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Roman Reigns is not going to retain.
You think so? I mean, and also this is night 2. You need to end on a super big high, right? So and now that Edge is sort of like a heel as well, so Daniel Bryan is gonna win.
That's the thing. I don't know whether Daniel Bryan is big enough.
Like he does. Oh, that's you. He doesn't have the momentum. Like this is not like
this movement is not.
No, it's
the thing now.
No, like this is like how many years too late for him to win the title already. So it doesn't make sense. It's not like, and I know I've compared this to Triple H, HBK, Chris Benoit, right? But Chris Benoit had like this movement like growing before that WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm very confused with this one.
But I like it though.
Which is
I
good.
Really have no idea who's gonna win.
Which is good. So in a weird way, like Edge wins and he's now the ultimate opportunist, rated R superstar. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
I think for the purpose of Roman Reigns becoming the challenger, I think it would be Daniel Bryan winning.
But like also,
but you think Daniel Bryan winning is anticlimactic, right?
Yes, like very much so. This year, you okay or not?
I'm ready to call off the podcast. I need to fix my nose.
You need to tap out already. But like Daniel Bryan is not like he doesn't have the momentum of like a Kofi Kingston that year. He's just inserted himself here, and it's like, oh, okay, he's in the match. Yeah.
If Edge were to win, I think the people will be quite happy though.
Yeah, but he's now heel.
Roman Reigns winning, he will be heel also. So I don't think people care whether they're heel or face.
I guess.
I think people will be happy regardless who wins.
Maybe they rely on the fly, see the crowd reaction, says Irvin. The Shadow says Brock Lesnar, stop it lah, bro.
Bro, because of you, we're going to end the podcast already.
Yeah, that's right. Paul Heyman, I have a surprise. And then he's the 4th person in the match and Brock Lesnar destroys everybody. I guess. Okay, fine. You know what? I'll pick Edge then. I would rather see Edge win.
I'll pick Daniel Bryan. Just to see the crowd turn on Daniel Bryan.
Can you imagine? They're like, boo. Then he turns heel.
Oh no, and then what if Roman Reigns retain, but actually the whole crowd celebrate like he won WrestleMania? Then finally Roman Reigns has a WrestleMania moment.
As a heel. But people cheer him. Like
5 years later, when Roman Reigns wins and the title is held up high, everyone's cheering him.
Yeah, when they wanted to boo him. Roman Reigns has a very weird relationship with WrestleMania. Like every time he's been in the main event and they wanted him to be cheered, he gets booed to death. Like with Undertaker and whatnot. And like this year, Scully, he gets cheered.
But this is the first year that he's performing as a heel in front of a crowd. So I think it will have a great reaction. Sure.
I think so too. Like we said, like it's good that we can't call the main event. It just means it'll be surprising. Hopefully, there are going to be other surprises, like surprise show-ups.
This is the best built match in WrestleMania. I think among all the matches, I think this is the best built.
Well, okay, I would argue Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. You know what else I would argue? Who's been consistently there on Raw every week?
Fiend?
No.
Randy?
Bad Bunny!
Booker T. Booker T is not even part of the storyline. So sad.
He should be on the pre-show, right? So maybe he can
he will be like, I'm the one that started all this.
Yes,
it's my fault.
Ayo. Okay, there you go. That's WrestleMania weekend. It's gonna be fun. Sunday morning and Monday morning for us. So much wrestling to catch up with. And let's not forget, there's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale that's happening on SmackDown also.
Yeah, so we are finally going to be talking about SmackDown on our next podcast. Whatever's happening on SmackDown. It's a WrestleMania sneak preview, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Irvin, one more thing. He says, how will Roman Reigns' ASMR trash talk look with a proper crowd? That's a good point. He's going to...
ASMR trash talk.
I'm going to beat you up. And then like you hear nothing but the crowd, so it'll be just him moving his mouth.
That's the head of the table.
But can't hear.
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
If anything, we'll have lots to talk about on Monday. So yeah, we will see you guys again. I know it's in like 4 days, 3
4
days,
days time,
damn fast. But we will see you again for WrestleMania, post-WrestleMania show right here on the Kick to the Gut YouTube channel.
We're gonna we're gonna review night 1, night 2, and if we have time, and I think we're probably gonna find the time, Chris Jericho's Broken Skull sections as well.
Yes, we'll definitely have to talk about that. Hey, Scully, the surprise. Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
You know how?
You know what? For us longtime fans, this might be the one that we're looking forward to on WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, right. Actually, you know that would break the internet if Chris Jericho shows up at WrestleMania. If somehow they made a deal, it's like, okay, fine, he shows up, okay. And like even in a backstage segment where he's just standing there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna be surprised. Okay. You know what would be super cool?
What?
Okay, who does Chris Jericho have? In terms of like a connection with regards to some of the Hall of Fame inductees, maybe some sort of face to face with them, or okay, this might be very random, but I feel like because Chris Jericho has a close relationship with this guy, what if he does something with Kevin Owens?
Right.
Sami Zayn, conspiracy.
Yeah.
Then after that, like I don't know, like Kevin, like before Kevin Owens comes out to the ring or something, he's like psyching himself up. It's like, you know, blah blah blah. He look in the mirror. Then backstage, he see Chris Jericho, and he like turn around. And Chris Jericho was like,
Voila. Hey, real no. Or you talk about conspiracy theory, right? They literally film a spot where Chris Jericho shows up in the mirror, like you say, but then when Kevin Owens turns around, not there.
He disappeared. Oh my god!
Literally like a 2-second cameo.
Oh my god, everyone's just gonna pop like crazy.
Yeah, dude. Okay,
you know what? It's like a Flash paradox, you know, like Flash return in the dream.
Yeah. Dude, we are totally fantasy booking right now. It's not gonna happen. Let's not overthink it. If not, we'll just get disappointed. Let's just look forward to the Broken Skull sessions with Steve Austin and Chris Jericho. That's gonna be awesome.
Well, it's been a crazy 1 week of wrestling. It's not over yet. The coup de grace, the main event is gonna happen this weekend, and I can't wait for it, bro.
And after WrestleMania is Raw. After Raw is the new NXT on the new day.
Oh, life just keeps rolling, bro.
Ooh, all right.
Damn.
Monday afternoon, come join us and let's talk about WrestleMania. Share all your thoughts. Let's do the live stream and everything.
Yes.
In the meantime, though, once again, as always, we appreciate you hanging out in chat, everybody. Thank you so much. Drop by our DMs on Instagram, on Facebook. If you haven't, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. And if you want to hear us again, maybe you missed what we talked about earlier, you can always listen to the podcast on Spotify as well as on Apple Podcasts.
All right, bro. We are ready, man. My body is ready.
My body is ready for the Broken Skull sessions and then WrestleMania. So,
indeed.
As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. Have a good weekend.